And we
Barb's
are
noodles.
live.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh. This time I come in and nobody's cracking up or dying.
Oh, sorry.
So he basically created a mask that's like an Iron Maiden for the face.
BRB adding that to the campaign.
It's pretty interesting. He
just
put him
just
on
keep
boys
it away
who
from my
bullied him.
character. My characters don't do well with masks.
No. He put
This
it on
much
boys that
is
bullied
true.
him. That's creepy AF. Anyway, enough about the killer.
Oh, is that the new killer for
Dead by Daylight?
Dead by Daylight?
Yeah. He looks intriguing.
Slinger.
I just haven't seen much on him because obviously I've been working all day, so I'm like just now starting to look up stuff. So yeah, it's very interesting. Very interested in this character.
I'm excited for all the changes that Siege is getting. Dude, when Oryx comes out, I'm just gonna be Kool-Aid Manning through every wall possible. Oh yeah! Dude, that is great because you can just like run people down, you knock them down, you just blast them with a shotgun. Yeah, that is like easily best ability in the entire game. Just Kool-Aid Man through a wall. Oh. Too many updates coming though. Fortnite gets its update on the 20th.
See, I don't have to worry about all those crazy ass games. I don't play those.
Fortnite's still relevant?
Yeah, it is.
It is for all the teenage boys.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I am not a teenage boy.
I've been playing Wilson.
Now with that attitude.
Yeah, Wilson's great. I've been having a blast with Wilson.
I haven't gotten very far because I played offline for a bit, then I switched to online. I've been waiting for the online to stop being a butt.
I heard it's stupid. I heard it's stupid, crazy broken though. I had a friend that said he played it all weekend for 3 days, and he's like, it's so broken.
So this is what happened. Wilson was like super under the radar. I didn't even realize this game was coming out. A friend of mine was like, "Oh, you gotta check out Wilson. It's a Diablo 3, like knockoff, remake, reboot, whatever the hell it is." I'm like, all right, like I couldn't get my couch this weekend. I have extra cash. I'll buy the game. I'll see what it's like. Because it was getting a lot of positive reviews. So I was like, all right, worst case scenario, I could play it for, to end game, and then I'll, it's Steam. I'll just give it to somebody after that. But no, I was playing, I was having a blast. But apparently that's what happened with a lot of people. They started playing it and then had a blast, and then they weren't ready for the deluge of people trying to play the online mode for their game because
they didn't stress test it.
No, I think they did. I think they honestly thought they weren't going to have as big an impact in the genre as they did.
That's what some companies don't expect.
They thought they were going to get like a small niche crowd of people to play it. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, it's not Path of Exile. And they just jumped in and played it.
Yeah, everybody just freaking plopped in and they were like, oh crap, we don't have anywhere near the amount of servers to handle all these mofos.
Well, they should have thought ahead.
I will say, I like you want to run a pet class, just get a mage, give them Parasite, and have them infect one of the spawn monsters. And the spawn monsters just go with you and constantly spawn shit.
Oh my lord.
Imp, thank you for that 32-month resub, dude.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I was doing that today, and it's like half of the screen was just nothing but my minions running into things.
Nice. Now I've been trying to remake the Hunter from Diablo 3, so I'm going pistol catalyst, high mobility, lots of DPS. So it's nuts. I basically just empty out all of my wisdom into rage, and then I just start blowing, just AoEing the entire board with like rage spells, and then just rinse repeat. So I just all you see is my wisdom rage bar just freaking ping ponging back and forth between all the spells and casting.
Yeah, I'm playing pure mage, and it's pretty much run in, infect the spawner, and then Palpatine everything with lightning blast.
Palpatine everything.
Yeah,
I've seen it, and it just seems like a mix of Path and Diablo. The only reason why I say Path is because of all the little skill stuff they have.
Oh
like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
the
It-
customization is bonkers. What?
And you can rotate shit. I was like, what the fuck?
you could
Oh,
duplicate
yeah,
your
dude.
spells as well. So if you want 4 of the same spell, you can duplicate it, and then just have like different like summons and stuff that are the same creature but leveled differently.
Yeah, it's bonkers.
I do have to ask, is there a pet class? Because I want a pet class.
That's what
You
Roger
can
was
make a
talking about.
you can make a pet
you
class.
can
I
make
made
pets.
I made a pet class. You go
Like a
mage,
minion, like a bunch of minions and shit.
yeah. You go
Yes.
mage, and then you could. There's an archer, a tank, and a warrior one. But if you get parasite, you could turn monsters into your minions.
Yes.
And so what I do is I go in and I look for that one mob that summons their own little mobs, and I infect that one, and then it starts summoning little minions for me. And then you go into battle and you have like this little horde of minion shock troops running ahead.
Attack my vile demons.
Yeah, it's fun. I've been having fun with that.
Yeah. Speaking of vile demons, there's like 3 of them in the bar with us right now, trying to trying to snatch our faces off.
Yeah, I mean,
Something like that.
what happened? I mean,
I don't know. All I know is we were talking about why my beer mug was empty, and Ashton was bragging about all the freaking hag tomes she has, and then she goes, "Oh, by the way, that hag that little kid has can see and hear everything we're talking about." And then like the hag like "Wah, wee," and then like shit started appearing all over the bar and came after us. I was like,
so what? Last week you all made it. Oh, so before we get to that, before we get to the recap here, I want to show you guys something. HB
boy.
Fox has done work and has updated the world map.
Okay.
We now have the world's name up in the little title bar. It's been empty for so long, but it's now there. Points of interest have now been drawn in. Things like Arcastus and Rithscast, New Dagger Tree, Fort Dagger Tree. Down over by where you guys are at right now, there is now the Isle of Soratil, which is that broken apart
turtle.
false god that the Kuato made that you guys cruelly destroyed. But
We did not cruelly destroy it.
there's a little nod over the Golden Peaks here. If you zoom in just enough,
No, don't show them. Let
you
them
can
find
see
it.
that there's a little boat jammed into the side of the mountain.
Really?
I saw that and I was like, oh, he put the boat in. Mount boat is a thing. But yeah.
I found it. Okay, it's like, where's Waldo? It's like, where is it?
Where's the boat?
I see it now. Okay.
Wait, is it right between Golden Peaks?
It is.
Yep.
Okay. I was like, you son of a bitch. I do like Swordtail, how it looks. It looks really cool.
Mhm.
And it does look shaped like a turtle, and I love it.
That it's broken apart and everything.
Yep, broken apart.
Yeah, and in the future, whenever I just make time to continue working on the map, I'm going to do little illustrated markers for all of the points of interest. I have some on the main continent there that you can see, but that's going to be just all over the map when I'm done.
So
You're going to have some great fishing spots on that island.
right?
Bunch of peninsulas. Yeah, it's going to be great.
So last week, you all began to set foot in the town of Lurin. Thankfully now in civilization once again, after being battered and beaten on the seas by various monstrosities as you tried to make your way down south to save Tickles. Everything seemed to be going fine. People were getting their shopping done. Sale intimidated a child because she could not find anyone selling alchemical goods. But TUES was trying to find information on Malorsic, a name that's been haunting him for a while now, and he's just been drawn to head deeper and deeper south, trying to find whatever this city holds. Unfortunately, TUES himself could not find that much information on it, though he did come in contact with a 13-year-old boy whose name is Landon. Raven, thank you for the host. Landon explained to TUES that maybe his grandmother could help answer any questions he may have about the city, as she used to live in it. An agreement was made to leave the city the following day, or the next day, I should say, after Landon had finished his shopping for his grandmother. Now, Landon has a weird discolored eye that seems to move around on its own. You found that it was a hag's curse that was placed on him, something known as the hag's kiss, that was only stopped due to the efforts of his grandmother, though the eye is connected to whatever hag cursed him in the first place, and she can see everything that he does.
And here.
And as soon as that revelation came out, Landon began to grip his eye and cry out in pain as there were 3 shrieks coming up from above. And as we pick up those creatures that were slowly beginning to crawl down to you from the ceiling, drop down in front of Ash, kind of like with a very wet thud. And they begin to like slowly stand up, black ooze-like hair hanging down in front of their faces, manacled wrists keeping their arms close together. As they begin to look around at each of you, and as they do, you can see that all of them have that discolored eye as it just keeps moving around from person to person. But they stand there and they make, doesn't seem like it, they make any sort of movement towards any of you. And then one of the one in the center begins to sniff around, and it slowly begins to like shamble over to Ash. And Ash, it gets within probably about half an inch from you, and it just begins to sniff you.
And I can see it, right?
Oh yeah, everyone can see it. They're not specters or anything like that. They are physical.
Okay. And I'm sorry, you said they're wraiths.
You don't know what they are.
We don't know
Okay.
what they are. They just have each have one of those funky hag eyes.
Yeah, and
okay.
their hands are like closely manacled.
Can I take a guess from reading the tomes and just books in general?
You can give me an Arcana roll if you'd like.
Oh, that's bad. Okay. With advantage because of the tomes?
Nope.
Nope.
10.
10. You can't.
Oh, 10.
You can't really place what these things are.
Can I make an Arcana roll?
Yeah, you can make an Arcana roll.
Let's see.
Well, I'm staying still, first of all.
19.
19. You don't know what these are.
Oh damn.
Okay.
It just keeps going. This one smells like us. Yes. I can smell the corruption. The influence weighing heavy. Soon we will call her sister.
Rose speaks out and she goes, "You're not going to be calling her shite. You need to step away, or you're going to get an arrow in that eye of yours."
And they just go, oh, useless. And as they've been talking, another one's made kind of its way over to TUES. And we know this one. Older, yes. But familiar. Curious. Come see us. Please. We have so much to discuss. They kind of like shamble back a bit, and then they just dissolve into like these large pools of murky gray water.
Clean up on aisle 13.
I look to TUES. Do you know what they're talking about?
I would have to assume that they're speaking of the place.
The one you mentioned earlier.
Merlorsik.
Yeah, I think it's inevitable for us to go now. I mean, we're going there to help you seek answers and maybe deal with an old thorn.
I don't know what we're going to find there.
Yeah.
I was like, "Do we even need to go there? We have tickles."
I'm assuming hags involved. I think that's kind of obvious. But
Well, sweetie, I know you have a thing for their books and all, but I mean, this is obviously a trap.
yes, but at the same time, this is something we need to do for TUES. There's obviously something maybe haunting his dreams. I know
And it involves a hag. I say you forget it.
well, then we've
and
dealt
move
with
on your
hags.
life. Yeah, but we've dealt with hags too many times. Now we have a hag, and she's beckoning us to come to her. I'd rather not.
Well, Rose, you are not obligated to come along.
Are you really going to travel to where this thing is?
We be helping a friend? We've always helped each other out. Why can't TUES be part of that?
It's not a matter of helping each other out. I mean, this is.
I think it'd be best to help him.
But I'm uncomfortable that this hag, it might be even the same hag that's trying to pursue me before. I have no proof, but
Or it could be the hag that the stupid cow was talking to in the gym.
well, I'd rather not have that shadow over my shoulder everywhere I go. I'd rather deal with the problem and eliminate it.
Zale, can you talk some sense into them, please?
Zale cannot because she's still upstairs in her room.
Yeah.
Oh, she didn't come down? Oh, Jesus
No.
Christ. I totally thought she did. All right, so then it's Calderas. Well, no, Calderas is a freaking monster hunter. Of course he wants to go kill the fucking hag. It's like, oh my goodness, are you all daft in the head? I mean, did the booze really affect your brain as much as I'm thinking it did?
If we don't solve the problem, it's just going to get worse for TUES.
No, the problem's
agree.
here. Then we just never come here again.
It's going to affect TUES more if we get away. As much as I like to leave this rock of a freaking island and go back to my kids, I say we solve the problem.
We haven't
The
even spent
hag-
the night here yet. And TUES, you've had these dreams well before then, right?
It's been a year and a bit now.
See? So it's not even the place. It's haunting him wherever he goes.
To a hag like this, distance does not matter.
Well, it's just some bad dreams. I don't understand. You know,
It's
think
more
more.
than just bad dreams.
what, the little wooden sword that likes to scream and fly around. Bury it in a well and cover it with rocks.
A screaming wooden sword is a little disturbing when you think about it.
I
It
don't
is.
think that will solve the problem.
And what if he gets a splinter? That's pretty bad. That's painful. Have you ever had a splinter? It sucks.
You know, I've heard from some people in my order that you can deal with hags with a blueberry muffin. Just
I'm confused.
Sadly, you're one cleric short.
Sorry, had to. All right.
I'm confused.
It's from Critical Role.
It didn't work out.
It was
That's
a
fine.
super clutch move. Oh my god. Okay. Whew, anyway, that was good. That needed that.
No.
Ah.
Anyways, the point is though that this thing will continue to come for both Ash and TUES unless we either steer it away from doing so or eliminate it. Maybe it's not the first thing that we do, and maybe it's not something that we rush into. In fact, I recommend we don't rush into it. But it does need to be taken care of.
Should we go visit? I don't have my notebook with me. Linus? Lando? Leotard?
The
What was the kid's name? Someone help me out
Landon?
here. What's the kid's name?
Keep going.
Landon?
I'm not saying it.
Landon.
Ah, come on. I just wanted to see how many names
Lando.
you came up with.
Lionel.
Yeah, Billy D. Williams.
Leonardo
now for you guys.
DiCaprio. Wait, what was his name? Sorry.
Landon.
Landon.
It's like my name.
Landon
Both an L.
Calrow. There we go. Okay, Landon. That kid. Do we want to go visit his grandmother and seek more answers there, considering how she seems to have similar dreams? Not so much
Citadel,
them
thank you for
coming
the follow.
to life, but it
That
sounds
might
like
be a
she's
good idea.
from the same place.
Maybe she can talk you out of us going to see this hag. If that's the case, then I'm
No, but thank you. Rose, I love you, and I know you're going to come. Because you deep down want to help.
Thanks for
I want
thanks
to
for the
stop
host
you
crowd.
from getting killed by a
Okay.
hag. There's a big difference.
Well, I am 5-0, so got a pretty good record.
Do you understand the word hubris?
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
I don't know the meaning of the word. As in, I ignore it.
Rose just like she's like, all right, fine. She's like, she just goes to the bar and like asks for a shot. Rose is like, she's like, I'm done. When you're ready for your gifts, just let me know. I'm gonna be over here drinking.
I love you, Rose.
Ingrid kind of like looks at you questioningly. Are you sure you want to try to take any more of the alcohol? I mean, you saw what happened earlier.
What? It's because I passed out from drinking the Paladin's brew. So what? I always pass out when I drink that stuff.
Okay, what's your
And I didn't-
poison?
I didn't ask for it. I just give me just give me like a shot of whiskey.
I can do that. She reaches under the bar and she pulls up like a double shot. Pours
And then
bit
she,
of dwarven whiskey into it
she
for you.
drops 2 gold. She's like, leave the bottle, please.
Ingrid just takes takes the coins and puts it into a pouch on her hip and just clunks the bottle of dwarven whiskey down in front of you. And she like walks out from behind the bar with like a mop, and she begins to like mop up the murky water left by the creatures, almost as like this is a normal occurrence for her.
She has no fear. I like her.
Balls of steel.
She kind of looks over and she's like, "Why don't you take the poor boy up to his room?" You can see that Landon is completely passed out on the table.
Oh, right.
Does this happen often?
Every now and then, yes.
What are those things?
We call them the spooks. We really don't know. All that happens is
fitting.
the poor boy gets a headache. They appear, they mutter some cryptic shit, and then they turn into water.
Do you
Trojan.
have any recollection of past things they have said and maybe why?
Like I said, it's all cryptic. What's up, Groudon?
Nat 20, 24 to pick up the boy.
Okay.
So the ratling chucks the 13-year-old
Tickles just-
human over her shoulder.
Tickles just like walks over, spits on her hands, and just like with an unknown feat of strength, just like lifts Landon up and slings him over her shoulder as she begins to take him upstairs to his room. His hands are kind of like dragging on the ground behind her. His head is maybe about 6 inches from the floor.
Jeez.
It's like every time she goes up a step, you could swear that poor kid's head is gonna smack against the step. But she's able to get Landon up into his room safe and secure.
Is the rest of the party following Tickles?
No, I'm gonna go sit next to Tyrus.
Holly, back down.
Oh, Tyrus is going to go look for something very strong in terms of alcohol.
Well, there's that
Rose-
one-
You want to have what I had?
No.
She bought a bottle of whiskey.
Okay, cool. Just leave me after I just sat next to you. Okay. Rude.
No, I'll be right back. And Tyrus wanders over to the bar to find a bottle of something.
And by the time you go over to the bottle, Ingrid tosses the mop back into a corner and wiping her hands off on the apron that she's got on. What are you looking for? You look like you need
Bottle
something
of something strong.
That's what I thought.
Surprise me.
Oh, I know, just the one. She walks down to the far end of the bar and she grabs this like light ruby red bottle. She walks back. She's got like another double shot glass. She puts it down in front of you. She uncorks it and pours out like this almost gold-like liquor into the shot glass, and she just sets the bottle down and walks away.
I'm taking the shot glass, I'm taking the bottle, and I'm going back to the table.
Okay.
And if there's another shot glass in range, I'm grabbing that.
Alrighty.
It's
You
my
just
shot glass.
Tyrus just like reaches behind the bar and just grabs another one of the shot glasses.
Go back to the table, set it down, look at Ash, push the other shot glass in front of her.
I mean, I've already achieved God mode. Why not?
I mean, this won't kill you.
No, I don't think so. So, have you had any other bad dreams? What have they been about?
It's almost like trying to recall something, but I don't. The memories are there, but they're pieces.
So you believe that they're memories coming
I'm
back to
assuming
you?
so.
I feel like that's all the more reason for us to go. It's not only to help you and save you from whatever is haunting you, reaching out to you, I'm not sure, but at the same time, I feel like it would help you bring some peace.
Well, I was intending on going regardless.
Well, that's true. But still, I think it would help you out tremendously. And we're here to back you up. You're our friend.
You might get another book out of the deal.
Add it to my collection. That's for sure.
You hear an audible scoff from the bar.
Although it does disturb me that some hag knows about the collection or knows about me, but at the same time, it's a little disturbing about you. I wonder if maybe the hag is behind this, or maybe it's just trauma over time, but maybe the hag has something to do with your memory or reaching out to you.
Or the reason the town is now a smoldering pile of ash.
That too. I mean, it's hard to tell. Again, I'm sure we'll get more answers once we get further down. But
I mean, the obvious solution is beat the answers out of a hag.
we're pretty good at that. We've had experience.
If she doesn't want to talk, we'll ask harder questions.
Can I ask you a hard question? Why didn't you want to be back in the land of the living after you passed?
Because when they were doing the experiments, every time it failed, that was their immediate answer. Keep resurrecting the subject until the experiment worked.
Well, I can only imagine what you went through, and I am so sorry that you did go through that. But I want you to know that if we do that to you, it's not because we want to experiment on you or traumatize you from that time. We are our friends, and we want you to be around longer to experience joys and adventure in life, not trauma and pain.
Unfortunately, the result is the same.
Can you at least maybe, first of all, let me back up a little bit. I'm sorry if it did upset you. I can tell there was a shift in your mood when it happened, and we didn't know of your wishes, but at the same time, just know it came from a place of good and love. We just wanted our friends back.
Yeah. It only upsets me because certain people ignored Zale's words.
Well, we didn't know. We just heard her saying no, he didn't want to, and we were like, why? And we just didn't hear it from you. If we heard it from you, it might have been different. You can talk to us, you know. Please talk to us about any of this stuff.
The problem is everything before I met you in the jail of the, oh God, I can't remember the name
Void
of it.
Dragon?
The Void Dragon is fragmented at best.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't tend to talk about it because I don't remember most of it.
That's fair. Well, if you just want to talk in general, you can always talk to us. If you don't feel comfortable around other people, you can talk to me. You can go back to talking to Zale only if you want. Just know that we're your friends and we want to help you and we want you around long because we love you. We didn't mean to offend.
Well, either way, I have a potential for answers and I intend to go find them.
Not to sound snooty, but you wouldn't get to this point if we didn't revive you, so
Well, then I wouldn't have the other problems, so.
that's also true. But I'm glad you're around so we can help you and hopefully repair your memories and your past. By fucking up a hag.
And anything else that happens to be in the way that refuses to give us answers.
Exactly. But we might want to be careful around Landon. His eye, as I mentioned before, is of a hag's, and it sees and hears everything we say. And now that those spooks or whatever they are had an interest in the both of us, we should probably just be alert.
On the other side of that, we might be able to use it to track her down.
Well, if Dice gave me the goddamn marble, I could talk to the hag, but that's been the past. But still, we'll find a way to track her
Ruined your
down.
plans.
We'll find a way. And I want to give Tyrus a big hug and a big squeeze so he can't even squirm out of it if he wanted to.
At this point, I'm too tired to fight that.
Good. Because apparently Ash is completely revived and good, so big ol'
She's
hug.
like, let's do this. To show you my flexology. I can just see a buffed Ash.
She's kind of toned. She's not like super buff, but she's got some muscle.
Like, are the stools on the bar close enough where if Rose wanted to, she could like sit across two of them?
Yeah, like from where from at the table that you all were sitting at with Landon, it's definitely bar stool adjacent.
So Rose is basically just sitting, with her legs on the next bar stool closest to her, and she's leaning up against the wall, and she's in the corner of the bar, and she's just like just drinking her whiskey, waiting for Tickles to come back from giving Landon brain trauma.
Okay.
I'll just drink with Tyrus for a little bit.
What is Cal doing?
I was going to see if I could sit in on a table conversation, but that didn't seem right. So I'm sitting next to Rose, and with my 9 passive perception, not hearing any of it.
Just kind of lost in your drink at the moment.
Lost in thoughts, lost in the bottle.
I can just see him just going like this. That dark humor's like, the fuck's going on?
Just-
oh, look, beer.
Just feel like you've lost control.
I never had control. Control was always an illusion.
I don't know why, but I always perceive paladins as stupid idiots. Don't ask, don't know why. I just feel that way.
There's a significant portion of them that fall into that moniker.
There's also a reason why it's called lawful stupid.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Is it because they're like holy barbarians?
Pretty much.
It's like, it's like try to reason with a paladin, and people just laugh. It's like, reason paladins.
All they know is must kill monster.
Must
Not necessarily.
smite evil.
Yeah, that's usually the one that you.
You gonna take that from the group, babe? Come on.
Well, he's not lawful good, so
Not
I'm not lawful good.
Chose
To
this
be
group.
fair, Groudon did subclass into Paladin in season 1, so he has a little
Subclass
bit
in
of
a paladin. I was a
or
paladin the whole time.
multi-class. You were Paladin the whole time?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
right, you
you-
changed your okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You
Uh,
learned something
changed your
new,
thing
didn't
at the
you?
end.
Yeah, because when I chose that
so yeah.
train,
He was a Paladin in season 1, so
Yep.
he has experience being lawful stupid at least.
oh no, he wasn't
Right.
lawful good either.
Well, I know he wasn't, but
I don't think he was
they're
lawful
Paladins.
anything.
They're all the same.
no.
Typically, you don't
I
have to be
was
lawful to be
neutral.
a
You were,
paladin.
Chaotic
yeah,
neutral.
Nakrath was chaotic neutral.
I'd like
Anyway.
to think that I've shown a paladin that still has the intent for good, but can walk a middle line somewhat.
Great Jedi.
Oh no, I just
So-
killed things.
Tickles,
Swords.
after you put Landon back down or put Landon to bed, are you going to your own room or are you going back downstairs to the rest of the group?
Unless anyone else needs me. Actually, hold on. Is it still like, is it late or is it still like the
Oh no,
midday
it's
type of
night.
thing?
It's night.
Oh, it's nighttime now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go back down and see if anyone needs me. Otherwise, I would just go back. I'd go to bed. Go to bed.
All right. So Rose, you see Tickles coming back down after she like just quietly shuts Landon's door.
So Rose is like, finally, and then she like, she closes her eyes and Zale hears, I have something for you. You might want to come downstairs if you care for it.
Okay.
No, it's to Zale.
Oh, never mind.
Is someone in trouble again? Do you need my help?
What part of I have something for you makes you think we need help?
Rose, you know who we travel with, right?
Well, I mean, that's beyond the point. I'm just saying.
That's fair.
I have something for you and some others, and I'd like to give them all to you at once.
All right, I'm on my way down.
And then when Zale says that, Rose gets up and she sits at the table and she pulls this big old 3x1.5 or 3x2, I'm guessing, like crate out of her bag of holding and plops it on top of the table.
I didn't do it.
Oh, that's a big box.
Yes, it has lots of stuff inside. We're just waiting for Zale.
And
kind of stuff?
she's not going to be too far behind that conversation because she was just sitting in her room reading a book. So she comes downstairs and I assume spots you guys. You're like the main characters where everyone around you looks totally normal, and then you guys like stand out like a sore thumb.
Probably.
So she'll come
They
join
occasionally
everyone at
see
the
you and go,
table.
"Oh, hey, Zeb, over here!"
Yes, I can see you.
So Rose, she unlocks the box, and she goes, I was feeling generous today, so I went and I got some things for everyone. And then she pulls out this like weird little satchel thing and hands it over to Zale. And she goes, I think you'll find these very useful.
I will open up the satchel and look inside.
So when you look inside the satchel, you could see a mixture of various colored herbs and stones that have been placed into the pouch almost haphazardly.
I feel like I know what this stuff may be, but perhaps you could explain it to me.
Oh, they're alchemy components.
That's what I figured. Quite unique from the looks of it.
That's what I was told.
At least they're things that I don't recognize, so I'm going to assume they're unique. I appreciate that, Rose. Thank you.
So the components themselves, you can write it as you can just write them down as rarer herbs. And they've got a gold equivalent of about 5,000 gold.
And then she reaches, and when she reaches into the box, like her hand reaches like into the box, so it's like it's obvious, like it's there's extra dimensional space in the box. And she pulls out this gnarly, scary ass spiked mace thing, and she hands it over to TUES.
Now, what does this do?
Well, if you pull that trigger right there, the spikes protrude, so you can I'm presuming punch people. And then if you hit that switch over there, the ball falls off into a chain.
And I'm holding it. Press the one for the knuckle spikes.
Yep. As you do, these like very gnarly looking spikes jet out of the fist guard of the mace.
Do they close immediately if I let go?
Yep. As soon as you release the the trigger, they just sink right back into the guard.
I press the other button.
And as you press the other button, you see that spikes like kind of like extend out a little bit more from the head of the mace as a long chain falls out with as it clinks to the ground. And you begin to hear kind of like an audible hiss from the mace head, as you can see that it's beginning to like glow with like this red intensity.
Interesting. Let go of the button.
And it zips right back up into the stock of the mace, and the hissing stops, and it just goes back down to like its slate gray color.
I inspect the rest of it. Is there anything else notable on this?
You notice that along the backside of the haft itself is a slotted compartment that when you open it up, you can see that a small like ruby sliver has been inserted into it.
This sure require testing.
Oh, when Rose sees you do that. Oh yes, I almost forgot about that part. It's just a normal ruby. However, if you put other gems in it, it does other things, apparently.
Hey, I have something like that.
I hold out my hand towards Tickles.
Really?
Do you have any other colored gems on you?
I have pretty much dupes of almost everything. Give me a sec here.
Say, I think I have a couple.
I'll give him a yellow topaz.
Okay.
And I pop gem A out and put gem B in.
Okay.
And I press the button to extend the chain again.
And again, the spikes on the head grows. It falls to the ground, now extended by this chain. And there's almost like a very heavenly like chime coming from the head as it's beginning to glow with like this soft, radiant energy.
Keep that. I have a feeling you need that.
Fancy.
Aldros, does that remind you of anything?
Oh yeah. You're gonna want to use that against anything that has been brought back to life recently.
Tickles, can I keep this little shard?
I just said you can have it. I have a spare.
Excellent.
And then I guess for you, Tickles, she reaches both hands into the box, and she pulls out basically what looks like a double barrel shotgun with like a metallic claw on a mouth trap.
Hey, what?
Like, I guess that's the best thing I can think of how Rojan described it to me. So basically, imagine like an oversized double barrel shotgun with like, you know, like a mousetrap type contraption on top.
Okay.
But like instead of like a little clasp, it's like a giant hand.
Oh, I can see. So it's like a hand launcher.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she pulls out like another box, and she goes, "We're even." And she hands you like this weird thing that kind of sort of looks like a gun in this box. And she opens it up, and there's a bunch of like red orbs in them. I don't know what they do, but apparently you can recreate these and put whatever you want in them and use them with this contraption.
Can I do a roll or something just to be more clarified of what she's asking?
No, you kind of get the gist of it. This thing seems to lob explosive potions. Like you put the potion in the basket, and you press the button, and it launches whatever is inside of it.
It's a potion pulp.
Yeah, you pretty much have like a grenade launcher now.
Oh, hell yeah. So, how many of the things are there?
6.
6. Well, I'm going to give one to Zale, and we're like, can you make more of these?
Consider it done.
And then I know Mags is in here. I wish Mags was here, but she's doing something. She reaches in the box and she pulls out this weird. It looks like a giant leaf. And she hands it to Molly. And she goes, apparently this is from a world tree. And she drapes it around her shoulders and she clasps it. It can be used as some sort of floating platform of some kind, but I don't know. Looks rather good on you. So I don't know who's playing Molly, but I'm presuming some sort of giggle and coo sound would be coming out of her.
Ooh, me next. Oh no.
She goes and she looks at she reaches in her pocket and she looks at Calderos and Ash, and she goes, where I went, they didn't really have anything that would be good for you. And Calderos, you're already having your weapon and whatnot blessed at the temple. In the morning, Ashton, you might want to go here and talk to this gentleman and see if there's anything he might have for you or anything you can do for what you already have existing on your person.
Oh, like someone who can enhance stuff?
Supposedly, I don't know. I didn't visit him.
Ooh.
It's basically it's a note. I guess it's a business card. And it says it's the Bosrin Spider's Bane, and then the name on the card is like Rick Mahogany.
Ooh, I will definitely check it out in the morning. Thank you, Rose.
All right, so since Rose gave you the Rich Mahogany business card, you don't need to roll investigation.
Well, I already did. Okay.
And when she goes to Calderos. I don't know what other arsenal you have, but if you wanted to take a trip with Ashton and go there, he might have something that can be beneficial to you. But I personally don't know. Apparently, he is rather good at what he does.
I mean, it's always worth a look, right?
Mm-hmm. That's really nifty. Thank you, Rose.
You're welcome. And I'm done. And she closes the box and locks it and puts the box back inside her bag of holding.
Then I give Rose a hug, thanking her for the card.
Like she hugs you back lightly, but she's still kind of like it's like an annoyed hug, because she basically is still like, we should be on a boat getting far away from this island right now. But apparently she's been outvoted, so she's still a little bit miffed about that.
No.
Raven, I just sent you the information for the mace.
I think I'm going to retire back to my room for the night. Ash, you don't happen to still have that mirror on you, do you?
Always.
Do you think I could borrow it? I'll return it in the morning.
Of course. Do you need to talk to Ye?
No, I don't.
Aww.
I mean,
I
I always do, but no, I don't.
Okay. Here you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to take the mirror. I'm going to go upstairs into my room.
What about that?
And
so just to clarify, what did you give Ash?
I gave her the business card that
Rich Mahogany.
That basically points out how to get to Rich Mahogany.
I love that wood.
Did Caldros get anything?
The card was for Calderos and for Ashton.
Okay.
because there were no weapons in the shop. So it was for both of them to go there and figure out what they wanted.
Mhm.
But Cal's already getting his weapon blessed at the church. So, she told him about it, but she's like, I don't know what they can do for you since your weapon's already occupied.
Occupado. Alrighty. So, Raven, I sent you the information, and Tickles, I sent you the information for the items you were given.
I'm
Nice,
gonna
well, thank you very
science
much.
the crap out of this thing, you realize.
I mean, I hope so.
Caldross is sitting there with tears going, we should really get you, and just going through a list of stones.
Just one day, just begin whipping, just slotting things into there and just hitting the whip against stuff.
As I was mentioning to Groudon, it's not the common gems that scare me, it's the rare gems.
Black
Yeah,
opal.
I haven't done any of the rare gems for the Magpie Ring yet. I'm still kind of.
No, those expensive ones where you go, why would you ever use this on anything?
Like Peridot.
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 Peridot, it's French, the T is silent. Okay.
Oh, diamonds, pearls,
fine, I guess I'll go
things
fuck
like
myself.
that.
I mean,
Science.
Topaz gives you a radiant weapon. That's
I
pretty
thought that would
awesome.
be lightning.
I feel like that's going to come in handy.
Nope, it's
Well, it
because
could work
Lightning would be
different.
radiant.
it's because it's yellow. So the yellow gem provides lightning. Not lightning, but
Yeah.
radiant.
Would
Also, the sapphire
diamond
might
be
be.
best because that's clear white?
Nope.
You know,
Diamond
you guys
would
have
be
different
force.
forms of colors, and it's
Sapphire
making
could be
weird-
lightning.
What is this? A colorblind gem?
Yeah.
Fine,
Is it?
whatever.
So is anyone doing anything else for the night, or are you retiring?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm taking that mirror and I'm going up to my room.
Okay.
And do these doors have locks on them?
They have simple locks. Yes.
Okay, I'll lock it behind me as I enter, and I will lay down on the bed and kind of hold the mirror sideways so I can look at it as I'm laying down, and I'm going to scry on Zayla.
Okay.
And I'm just going to lay there watching her until I fall asleep.
All right. So as your mind turns to your daughter, the mirror begins to fog over, and then slowly the fog begins to evaporate as you see Zayla there curled up in Yith's arms as they're both asleep in the royal chamber. A now complete stuffed mouse is in Zayla's arms. Oddly enough, it kind of resembles Tickles. Admiral jacket and all.
Oh, Jesus.
Everyone needs a chew toy, right?
But you lay there and you watch the two of them in their sleep as you slowly drift off for the night. Let's see. Who do I want? Who wants to roll?
Really quick, I didn't get the stats for the shield.
I'll do it.
I know.
We're
There's
in
a
a
reason for
bar.
that.
Why are we rolling?
Okay.
We're in a bar. we're in a hotel room.
I know
Please.
you
It's a
are.
creepy ass town, man.
Oh,
You know what? Tyrus, go ahead and give me a d20.
Damn it.
– 11.
11. All right. You do not have a nightmare for the night, and everyone else.
How nice.
Everyone else sleeps soundly.
Okay.
Next day comes.
Yes.
Everyone begins to wake up in the morning. Landon is already downstairs helping Ingrid set up the morning buffet. as a long table has been put up out in front of out off to the side of the bar, as various plates of meat and like a large kettle of oatmeal. Everything has begun to be laid out for everybody who stayed overnight in the tavern.
I think Zale is actually going to get up early for once, after having such a sound and comfortable sleep, and she's just gonna go straight down and start chowing down on some breakfast.
Okay. So before we go ahead and jump into the next day, let's go ahead and take our first break for the night, so we can get up and stretch our legs and all that fun stuff. And when we get back, we'll find out exactly how this day is going to go about. I'm honestly crossing my fingers you guys leave today. But stick with us, guys. We will be right back.
Never.
All right, we are back.
No, we're not. Stop lying.
I'm back.
I refuse to stop lying.
Yay! I'm alive. I'm alive. Okay.
Are you though?
No, I'm dead
De-
inside.
debatable.
So,
I'm awake. I'm alive. I
Was-
know how- Sorry.
Was Zale the first one downstairs?
I mean,
I'm
how
probably
fast?
up.
I was gonna say, how fast was Zale down once she smelled the food?
Pretty fast. Though I know we do have some early risers in the party.
Mm-hmm. If Ash wasn't first, she'd be pretty close behind.
When would breakfast be ready?
Oh, it's ready.
No, what time of day? Like what time?
You're looking at probably 8 o'clock.
Yeah, Ash should be up by then.
Rose would be down there by like 6.
I'm a late sleeper.
So we're both having mimosas while we're waiting for Zale.
Little breakfast mimosas.
Yeah.
Okay.
As I'm going down into the dining area, the floor of this place is made of wood, right? I think you have described it as wood several times.
Yes.
I'm going to keep a close eye out along the floor or any of the other wooden furniture in here for maybe like a nail or something that's a bit loose, sticking out a little bit, that I'd maybe be able to pull free.
Go ahead and give me an investigation roll.
Even is Zale's investigation? Oh, that's why she doesn't do investigation rolls.
I think I'm right
10.
there with you.
10?
Yeah.
Everything seems to be nailed down rather well. Like whoever built this place in, it was, good on their workmanship, and Ingrid has kept it up throughout the years.
God damn it. Okay. I'm going to walk over to Rose and Ash in that case and just kind of like lean in over their shoulders. So I assume you're sitting side by side.
Yeah.
So I'm like, my head's poking out between the two of you. Do either of you have something metal and pointy, like a nail or some sort of punch or something?
I'm like looking at my armor, like,
not like a dagger or a sword, something for
Aw.
finer work.
I mean, I do have my whittling knife.
Not much
That's
work.
pretty small.
Could I borrow it?
You're not gonna break it, are you? It's my only one.
No, I just need to make a hole in something, and
Oh, okay.
my claws are too large.
Oh, yeah. No, here you go.
I'm going to take the knife. I do apologize if I break it. Zale doesn't know any better.
Break my fucking whittling
I'm
knife,
gonna
bro.
go find an empty seat, and I'm going to take a gold coin out of my purse and set it down on the table. One of the ones that's stamped with the Knoll insignia. And I'm going to put the tip of the knife on the coin and just take my axe and use the flat end of it to smack the knife down to try and make a hole in the coin.
Okay. What skill do you want to use for that?
Your choice.
Oh, no, it's your choice.
Right?
Yeah, I'd say strength. If it was, a tool that was meant for this kind of work, it might be
just
dex,
gonna
but
straight
this
up
is,
force
like,
it.
Brute forcing this whittling knife through a gold coin.
Okay. Go ahead and give me just a straight up strength roll.
Okay, let's use that die. Okay, not the best roll I've ever made. 8.
It's enough to. It's actually good because, like, I was trying to see how much force you were putting behind this, but you're able to restrain yourself just enough to, like, push the tip of the whittling knife through the gold coin and not really cause any harm to the table or anything else around you.
All right, perfect. I will pull the knife out of the coin and kind of slide it along the table back over to Ash. Appreciate it.
No problem.
And just spend the morning absent-mindedly working on something, waiting for everyone else.
Okay.
So was this something that was obviously like for us to see?
Yeah, there's no hiding this. It's like she pulls out Skullcracker and she like just takes it and smacks the flat end of the blade against Ash's the hilt of Ash's whittling knife.
And if it wasn't obvious enough by just pulling out the massive axe, that thing catches on fire whenever I grab it. It's not like an activation word thing. It just catches fire. So
Rose is sitting in her chair like she normally does, like, you know, hugging her knees, drinking mimosa out of her ever-filling mug. And she looks at Zale when she returns the whittling knife. Any particular reason you're putting holes in money?
I want to put a string through it.
Are you making a necklace?
Kind of.
A charm?
I don't think so.
Is that one of, can I see like if that's one of her dagger tree coins? Or if it's just a regular gold coin?
Muted.
It's very obvious it's a dagger tree coin.
Okay.
So when Zale says she's gonna put a string through the coin, Rose thinks back to her childhood. Are you trying to game someone with that coin? The hole is kind of obvious.
Game somewhat. I don't understand what that means.
You tie it to a string. You're probably going to use one that's too thick. Place it somewhere where someone can see, and then drag it until they get to you, and then, well, you know, sap them and take their stuff.
Are you going to rob someone?
I hadn't planned on it. That seems like a lot of unnecessary steps. Why don't you just assault them when you see them?
That's true. It's very unlike you to just trick people. You might as well just, you know, go
Well,
in.
it's to get them someplace where they can't be seen easily, so you can accost them.
I see. No, I'm not doing that. I'm making a gift, a keepsake for someone. I'm going to put this on it as well. And she pulls out of her bag a pretty gnarly looking tooth. It's actually one of her teeth that was in my inventory for probably about 1.5 years now.
Oh dear Lord.
You need to brush your teeth.
So it's like a 2-inch long fang. I'm going to put this on it too.
Aww.
So you're making a necklace out of a coin and a tooth.
Is that for your little girl?
Oh, no, I gave her something else. She looks quite proud of herself when she says that.
Did you give her a baby Skullcracker?
No, but well, I wanted to give her something that meant something to me, but I knew Yith would be not as thrilled about it as I was, so I gave it to her right before I left. Do you remember those 2 blades that I used to use?
I was just about to say you gave her weapons, didn't you?
Yes, those 2 viper blades. I gave her those.
Is she able to create poison saliva like you?
That's a good question.
Okay, that makes me a little nervous, but okay. Okay.
I'm sure it's fine.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it's great. I mean, he's looking after her, so I sincerely mean it when I say it's going to go great, because, I mean, he's watching her, so it's great.
Exactly. Nothing to worry about.
Nope, not at all.
Rose just sips more of her mimosa and she's just basically waiting for breakfast so she can head out into the street.
Landon just takes a seat next to Zale with a big old bowl of oatmeal and one of the pints, but it's full of orange juice.
What are you eating?
Oh, oatmeal.
Are you feeling better?
I feel fine.
Have you never seen oatmeal, Zale?
Is this another one of those things that it's the food that food eats?
Oh dear Lord.
What? What?
Is-
No.
is-
Oh, wait, what?
Is that now how you're describing things that aren't meat?
Well, I mean, I understand eating vegetation, but not as, the only thing you eat.
It's like he's sitting there and he's kind of looking at you confused. He just reaches down in his bag and pulls out like this jar of honey, and he just begins like dripping spoonfuls of it into the oatmeal.
You know, it's good with
Look at
fruit
you like-
too.
It's great.
It's good with fruit too.
Yeah, he puts like 4 big spoonfuls of honey into it and seals
Oh,
it and
that's
puts it
too
back
much.
down his bag
Too
and
much. No.
stirs it up.
Not
Too much. Mm-mm.
not too much.
Depends on the
That's
spoon.
perfect.
Depends on the spoon.
Depends on the spoon.
Look, I like
It's a
my
ladle.
child. You know that he's like twirling that thing up like a spaghetti fork and just like, I'm getting all the honey.
It's a ladle.
nothing wrong with that. He just
do you,
begins to like
Oh,
eat just
honey.
spoonfuls of oatmeal, kind of confused as it's what food eats.
So that answers my question if you're feeling better.
Why wouldn't I feel better?
You kind of had a headache and then some creatures came.
Did the spooks come out again?
That's what everyone keeps calling them.
Again.
I'm sorry. It happens sometimes.
How often?
I don't know. Sometimes.
That was not really an answer, but okay. That's
Is
Fine.
the hag eye twirling about, or is it pretty much dead center?
It's pretty much dead center.
she's not awake yet. All right, well, you enjoy your honey sugar infested oatmeal. I'm gonna go to the buffet
Okay.
and grab a crap ton of meat and bacon and eggs and just pile it on as high as I can go.
Okay.
I'm sorry, did I miss something last night? What are you talking about?
Oh, you. My eye sometimes makes my head hurt, and then
Yeah, mine too.
These 3 ghost ladies come out and they say weird things, and then they turn into water.
Did you drink something you weren't supposed to as well?
No,
God damn it, Phil.
No, his
no. I was cursed.
yes.
Been there too.
His apparently one of his parents tried to renege on a deal with a hag.
Mm-hmm.
See,
By the way, we're going to hunt the hag.
Thank you for the sub.
Woot!
Woo!
Some love
I'm sorry,
in the
what-
chat for Willow.
what did you say about a hag?
By the way, we're going to go hag hunting.
Another one?
What's a hag?
Yeah. Remember we had this conversation where it's like a scary lady that does bad magic?
Oh, the witch.
Keldos will be
The witch.
walking
Yeah.
down in
Bad witch.
Keldos will be walking down into the area now. Perhaps we shouldn't discuss this in front of the child.
Through the
I'm
marble.
not a child, thank you. I'm
Oh,
13.
Jesus Christ.
Growing boy.
Thank you.
Through the marble, because again, it's hooked up to my earring, I'm just going to kind of tap it casually and very quietly whisper to just Zale and be like, the boy's cursed eye is that of a hag's. It sees and hears everything we say that relates back to the hag. The creatures that came out that he is speaking of had an interest in both me and TUES and told us to find them. So be careful what you say. Just good bacon.
I see. Another hag problem to deal with then.
Mm-hmm.
Does Zale say that out loud?
She does.
I mean, we said it earlier.
Like Rose just scoffs. Dear Lord, you too.
See? I knew Zale would be along for the ride. Rose is the only one that's against it.
Because it's silly.
It's an adventure. And we're helping a friend. TUES needs help.
Well, I mean, we shouldn't take it lightly, but it does need to be taken care of.
Mm-hmm. So I say we finish up some errands. We go find Landon's grandmother that may have some more insights of what's going on.
Oh my
And
God.
yeah.
Ash,
Rose just cuts herself short and just starts sipping from the mug again.
Ash, I'm planning on going to the temple and picking up my items. Afterwards, did you want to go check out that place Rose was suggesting?
Yeah, I wanted to do that real quick before we left. So if you want, I can accompany you to the temple and then we can go. That was my only thing to do today.
Have you guys been around town at all yet?
I have. I went shopping. Where do you think all the stuff came from?
Yes.
Fair point. Is there a magic shop in town by any chance?
Sort of.
I hold up the card. Maybe.
Is that where you guys are going to be going? I would like to stop by as well, if you don't mind me accompanying you.
That's fine. I'm just gonna go right after breakfast, because the sooner the better.
That works for me. I'll go with you there, and then I have a quick stop to make in the market area again before we set out to go. She kind of like very obviously side-eyes the kid. Go deal with the problem.
I'm not a problem.
No.
I don't know that.
She
I don't
doesn't
know
mean
you.
you.
That's also fair.
I don't know that. I don't know you.
That's fair. That is fair. So I'll just keep eating my breakfast, and then once all three of us are dead, I'll just
Lennon's like, well, I don't want to sound bossy or anything, but can you please make sure that you have all your stuff done by noon? I really gotta head out and make sure I get back to Grandma in time.
I mean, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. I'm gonna finish eating, and then I'm gonna head over to the stall, the stables to get ready. I'll meet you there.
Okay.
Okay. So
before that concludes, I'm gonna kind of direct my attention to the kid. You seem to know this area quite well. Do you think you could do me a favor on the way to the stalls? I think you mentioned.
Sure.
If I give you some gold, could you pick something up for me?
Maybe. What do you need me to pick up?
Basic supplies, really. Basic alchemy supplies. I searched for some yesterday.
Oh no. I'm not allowed to handle any of that. That's grown up stuff.
What if a grown up asks you to handle that?
Can't do it. Grandma would be upset.
When you're 13, you're practically a man in medieval times. Come on.
Can you at least direct me to a place where I might find these supplies?
Only place I know would maybe be the market. The town doesn't really have anything like an apothecary or flower shop or anything like that. Most of the business is done in the markets in the center of town.
I see. I will try my luck again, then, in the market. You know, Ash, the children in this town do not work very hard.
He kind of finishes up his oatmeal. As he does, he drops the spoon into the bowl and he walks over and he puts on like one of those little wheel trays. He cleans his hands and he snaps, and that soft orange winged tabby cat with like the star-like eyes appears on his shoulder as he walks over and he picks up his bags. He slings his backpack over his shoulders. Like, I'm gonna go get ready. I'll wait for you until noon, but if you're not there by then, I have to leave. It's about another day or so back home.
We'll be there.
Okay, well, I'll wait for you. And he heads out. So What are you all getting up to before you head out?
I'm just gonna head out.
You're heading to the temple,
The
correct?
temple, yeah.
All right.
With Zale and Ash in tow.
What about
I think Zale wanted to do apothecary shopping.
Well, I have two places that I want to stop. One is the magic-y type place that you guys are going to be going to.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that's what the card is for. And then if we pass through the market on the way, I'll look for a couple things there. If not, I'll stop through the market on the way to the stalls.
Okay. What about Tyrus, Rose, and Tickles? What are you guys trying to do with like the remaining time in town?
Cat, please.
Cat will not please.
This was a black shirt.
I will create some mischief in town.
I'm gonna be as far away from that as possible.
Damn, Tickles ran off. Okay.
You can follow me if you want.
I'm not sure that's for my best interest.
That's fair.
Definitely.
We gotta maintain plausible deniability.
I don't want to be implicated in whatever you're about to do.
Hey, new town, new place to get kicked out of.
Not yet, damn it.
Well, oh Lord. I'm actually going to follow Caldros then.
Okay.
Seems like a reasonable place to get answers for things I want.
All right. And what about Rose?
Rose is she's got to see a goblin about a tattoo.
Oh, that's right. All right. So all of you begin to walk pretty much together in the same direction, save for Tickles as she goes off to do her mischief. And by mischief, what do you mean?
I mean, I'm in a town. People looking for me. I'm just gonna stand out in the open, stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, but not necessarily here. Would they be looking for you?
Just a reminder, you no longer look like a chipmunk.
I know.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
I'm getting my stuff, damn it. I'm getting
Okay.
my stuff.
So everyone but Tickles begins to head the same way down to the ports. It's only about the time you get to the docks that you begin to split your separate ways. Caldros, Ash, Zale, and Tyrus begin to head off to the left towards the beach where the temple of Coatil is at, while Rose goes a little bit deeper into the docks looking for her goblin tattoo artist. Rose, can I get an investigation roll? I'll give you advantage because you were at least given it a name for this guy.
Investigation, dirty 20.
Dirty 20, nice. So you begin to like wander through the docks, and sure enough, you find this little hole in the wall tattoo parlor. It's got a couple chairs, and then there's one area in the back that's kind of like covered in like this black suede cloth. Rather stocky human walks up to you and kind of looks at you. You looking to get art done?
By a particular artist, yes.
Oh, got a name?
Crowshanks.
Crowshanks? Oh, damn goblin. In the back, behind the curtain.
Thank you. And she she just, she walks over to where she was directed.
All right, and as you pull the curtain back, you see a goblin sitting off to the side with his back to you, his entire body from head to toe just completely covered in various moving tattoos. And then there's a strange chair about 3 or 4 feet away from him. Got like arm straps and leg straps and like various arms with large, like almost intricate needles coming out of them, each of them having like a small section to insert vials into. And you see that he's cleaning one of the needles as he looks over at you. All right, what do you want?
I was told if one needed specialty work done, you're the person to talk to.
Oh, well, you heard right. What do you want?
Well, that's the thing. The tattoo I lost because of extenuating circumstances, let's say. But it did not do much except gauge my, I'm guessing, various powers. Not very useful.
Sounds kind of boring.
It was beautiful. I mean, I do miss it, but I do would like something new, but something a bit more useful. If I'm in a bit of a sticky wicket.
All right. And what would you like it to do?
What are my options?
That's up to you. The more off the wall it is, the more materials I need to use, the higher your price is going to be. I've made tattoos for people to allow them to jump higher, run faster, hit harder. I've made tattoos that allow people to blend into the dark. I had one that allowed a man to shoot fireballs from his mouth.
I'm interested in that blending into the darkness. Can you manifest darkness?
Can I manifest? No, and I can't manifest anything.
Well, I mean with the tattoo.
From what he did, he just stepped into the darkness and became the darkness.
I know, but I mean, that's good if I'm trying to get somewhere without someone seeing me, but if I didn't want anyone to actually see me and just be covered in darkness.
Kind of things. So, you just want to become darkness?
I guess.
I mean,
I'm not sure how to describe it other than, but I mean, I can see in the dark. Doesn't matter how black or how pitch it might be. I can see perfectly clear. Being able to manifest darkness about me, it gives me a bit of a combat advantage.
Yes, it would. Never done that one before. Worth a shot. Just to let you know, my tattoos come with a waiver you gotta sign, because you can die in this process.
Really?
Yes.
How long does it take? I need to be somewhere by noon.
By noon?
Yes.
Oh, you're gonna need more than noon for that. I mean, if you're looking to manifest darkness, probably gonna have to go into your eyes, probably around the back into your skull, and then do some sort of tracing of the rest of your body.
Well, that sounds quite painful.
Oh yeah. I forgot. You have to be awake for it all. Your screams let me know you're still alive.
I guess that makes sense. So how much time would you need for something like this?
For something like that, something experimental, you're looking at least minimum 6 hours in the chair.
Sadly, I don't have that kind of time. Bother. I would have come last night if I had known it was going to take that long.
Oh, it's not like I'm going anywhere. Just hit me up when you're back.
True, but fine. I'll hit you up when you're back. You don't plan on going anywhere in the next week or so, do you?
I've got appointments from here until next week. I am not going anywhere.
That's all right. That's fine. Then I will see you when I am done with my business further into the island.
Alrighty. I'll be here coloring on people.
Alrighty. And then Rose just gonna thank him and leave, and make her way over to the temple.
Okay. And speaking of the temple, the rest of you, as this is going on, begin to walk into the white alabaster lighthouse that is the seat of prayer for those who worship Coatil. And Calderas, as you come in, the sea elf that helped you previously smiles and comes rushing over to you.
I smile and wave and
I was just about
bend a hand.
I was just about to send word for you. Your items are ready. It was a complete success.
Oh, tell me all about it.
I would much rather show you.
That's more than acceptable.
Come. They're over here on the table. And she's like, well, she holds up the sash. As you can see that it's no longer like this crimson sash, but it's kind of now this very like dark, almost like chocolatish raspberry like color. He goes, this should allow whoever uses it to, well, once attuned with it, be able to use heroism once a day.
Tail
rolls it up and hands it to you.
This is for you.
Is this why you asked for that from me earlier, so you could take it here and do this?
Yes.
I see. Well, I'm just getting all kinds of gifts, aren't I?
Well,
very
So
much appreciated.
nice.
I noticed that you have a tendency with certain things to, well, don't take this the wrong way, but become rather scared. And this will stop that from happening.
You've been a little reckless lately with the unknown.
Now, to be a little fair and defensive, when something tries to eat me, I tend not to want to go near that thing again.
I've never taken you
That's
of a flight rather than fight
understandable.
creature.
Well, my people are more pack hunters. So when I encounter something by myself, my first thought is to leave and come back with my pack.
Well, I mean,
Zale.
technically you're not alone. You got us.
Zale, there's no judgment here. It is merely an observation. There are creatures out there that are extremely frightening. This will prevent them from
Mm-hmm.
removing your faculties from you, at least mentally speaking.
That's such a great idea, Caldros.
But it
I
sounds like you can only use
appreciate
it
it.
once a day.
Well, hopefully, we don't encounter those situations so often where I will need it more than once a day.
I can't agree more. Maybe there's something we could do about that damn coin.
We have given much thought to that.
So,
Unfortunately, we come up empty.
like your next ask of our temple was to bless your shield. Yes?
Yes.
You wanted it to resonate one of your paladin-like abilities.
Yes.
He kind of walks over and she bangs on the shield and hands it to you. Give it a whirl.
I'll put it on and I'll focus on it and put my free hand on the back of it. Try to activate.
All right, and what was the paladin ability you're using to activate it?
Aura Vitality.
Yep. Is you kind of focus on it. The front of the shield gets like just a brief second, like this radiant sheen as the aura vitality kicks off from it.
And does it feel like I have to hold concentration on it anymore?
Not from you.
So your shield has to think really hard.
Pretty much.
If you beat the shield up, it won't do it anymore.
Oh, it's sentient now.
Is it? Is it sentient? Does it talk to me?
There's
like-
no way they get hacked.
So what you did right there is you put the spell through it, but spend some time with the shield attuned to it, and you won't even need to use you'll be able to use the shield's aura.
I like. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's not the best part. And she walks over and you see her pull your blade out of that vice that it was in. Like, Oatil must like you. Takes it, she's like, the blade itself is a little bit more tempered. Not too magical, but there is something you can. She holds out in front of her and she focuses, and you see the entirety of the weapon like mold into this soft blue liquid color as it shapes up into a spear. And then she closes her eyes and she thinks again, and it molds once again into that of a hand axe. And then again into a mace. And then
He's
back
got a
into the
transforming
blade.
Weapon.
It's like, well, it has a little bit of a radiant oomph to it. But once you get to know it, you'll be able to meld the blade into whatever weapon you need for a situation. Mind you, no ranged weapons. Javelins are fine because technically you can stab somebody with a javelin, but no bows, no guns, no nothing like that. Melee only. Yeah, definitely could do a whip.
Yes, please do a whip all this whole campaign, please.
And she hands you the blade back. And when you do, it's very cool and calming to the touch.
Oh, I am so gonna do what's her face? Ivy whip sword, bladed whip.
Yes.
Yes, do it.
Oh my god, yes. Does that mean your boots
Paladin
will
in
grow
me.
bigger?
Yes, I
Awesome.
will.
Every
I'll need some, like-
campaign session. It's the progression of every Soul Calibur game.
God.
So, does it have extra damage or anything, or
It
Or
does.
does it?
It's still that +1 enchant, but it's got the morph ability. So whatever weapon it morphs into is going to be its damage. So you've got a variable damage, but it also comes along with radiant charges that you can expend, and you have four charges in it. And if you want to expend a charge, it will do an additional D10 radiant damage.
Nice.
Now you can expend 1 to 4 charges whenever you want, and they refresh every 24 hours.
Okay. So is one charge refreshes every 24 hours, or the entire?
They all refresh 24 hours.
Okay. And let's see here. If I'm using it, no matter what weapon I choose, am I proficient with it?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it is technically still your sword and you are attuning to it. Pretty much everything that was just given to you is going to require attunement.
So I have a question. So my question for technically for that weapon specifically, does the damage die change per weapon?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, so I'll have to look up the base
if he
weapon.
forms a great sword, then it's doing great sword damage. If he forms a quarterstaff, it does a quarterstaff damage. So whatever weapon it turns into is the weapon he's dealing damage with.
So
Can you have a
Zweihander and Chain Whip.
What was that, Tickles?
Can he have a sickle?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Just turn into
Ash-
Grim Reaper.
Ash is going to steal it and just make a scythe. Just fight with a scythe.
Oh, that's funny. You think you can take my hex weapon?
Yes.
Rojan, I had a question, just for clarification.
Okay.
In what you sent me. At the one line there says the word whip. Does that qualify as exactly the range I'm thinking it does?
Yes.
Oh,
And feet.
really?
Yeah. It
dear.
has whip range.
Oh.
So it's got that 10-foot range on it.
Is there a 5e whip sword?
I can make it.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Oh my god, you should get a gunblade.
Nope, it can't be
Oh,
ranged.
Can't be gunblade.
Damn it.
Can't have any gun parts in it. Also, the gun blade is a stupid weapon.
I found a homebrew whip
Oh,
blade.
come on.
I'm done with you.
Wow.
It's a stupid weapon.
You're a stupid weapon.
That may be, but that you know what? If that makes the gun blade a stupid weapon, I'll admit I'm a stupid weapon.
Hey, Tickles technically has one, so fuck off.
It's more of like a gun brass knuckles.
Yeah, it's more like knuckle dusters with a shotgun attachment.
Didn't
It's
didn't-
like
it wasn't Scarlet that had one. It was that other captain, that angry one.
Yeah.
God, what was her name? It's in my note somewhere. She had one, didn't she?
I don't have my notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a dumb weapon. Like, I'll say this: the Final Fantasy ones are dumb.
Oh, come on.
It's like you're just taking the body of a gun, you're sticking a sword on it.
Well, if you go by Garlean Empire standards, yes.
Hey, at least the Garlean one you can shoot from a distance.
You technically can, yes.
Like, but the
The
base gunblades, the Final Fantasy VIII gunblades, you could not. You pulling the trigger, all it did was it added explosive damage to the cut.
That's all it did. And for Garleans, it's just a rifle with a long sword at the end. That's all it is. You can
It's
still
a
swing
giant bayonet. That's all it
Exactly.
is.
I
Stupid
just
weapon.
sent you a link on Discord of a homebrew.
Oh, that's 3.5. I'm ignoring 3.5. I'll send you the information for the whip sword.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Is
it's
it right now?
3.5, but it's a good basis. Like, it'd be easy to port it.
Maybe. Yeah, they just used Ivy's like the
Yeah, they literally used
Screenshots
Ivy's
of
sword.
Ivy's Soul Calibur 1 blade.
Yeah.
All right. So with the shenanigans done, or the shenanigans done at the temple, Rose, you meet up with the group as they're beginning to head off. Caldross,
Are they heading to the magic shop?
they're heading out of the. By the time you reach them at the temple, they're heading out. Caldross with a very ecstatic look on his face.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Someone looks like the bird. Well, what is it? The cat that ate the canary? Something like that? I know it's some weird human saying.
Well, I will thank the people at the temple, and unless there's anything else to do here, guys, we can go on to maybe that magic.
Yeah, we got to go to Rich Mahogany.
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 The path to the magic shop from where we are, does that pass through the main like market area?
Yeah, it will. Because Rich Mahogany is on the off to the side of the market, so yes.
When we get there, I'm gonna split off from the group a bit and just tell them I'll meet them at the magic shop.
All right, Zale, go ahead and give me another investigation roll.
Okay, so I'm looking for two things here. One, a place to get some basic fucking supplies. And two, I'm looking for that same kid that I met up with yesterday.
Okay, so give me 2 investigation rolls. First one being the alchemy stuff.
He really wants that.
Alchemy stuff. What is my investigation? 15.
15? Don't find any alchemy.
Damn it. Don't go on a rampage, Zale. Don't go on a rampage.
This is like walking by, just punching every kid in the street.
Okay, second roll to find the kid. Why couldn't I fucking roll? 21.
You find the kid. She's sitting on a little barrel next to the dwarven baker where Molly got her cookies the previous day. Just sitting there munching on a cookie, looking around. You can see her mother is off a little bit, setting up the cart for the day's market.
I'm going to, as casual and nonchalant as a 10-foot knoll can, walk up and kind of kneel down beside the kid.
She just sits there eating her cookie.
Are you setting up shop?
And she nods. And she's like, oh, and she digs around in her bag and she pulls out a flower and hands it to you.
Kids. Why does it always have to be kids? Every time. I'll take the flower and I'll put it behind my ear. You know, I've got something for you as well. And I'll pull out the necklace that I made out of the coin and my tooth and hold it out. I wanted to apologize for my behavior yesterday. If you were my kid and somebody spoke to you the way that I did, I would tear their head off and put it on a pike in the middle of town as a warning. So I had no right to speak to you that way.
She very cautiously takes the necklace from you as you say that. She takes the cookie out of her mouth. Thanks.
You're welcome. Now that that's over with, I don't suppose you're selling any alchemy supplies today.
Well, aside from the flower I gave you, may talk with Mama. She might have something.
She's not going to be angry with me for showing up again, is she?
Oh, she's fine. Just don't yell at me.
will try not to. Stand up and kind of give the kid a pat on the head and then wander over to their mother.
And I'm just like next to Caldros, like, the fuck kind of talk was that?
And the halfling woman sees.
I thought we weren't there.
I thought we were all still together.
unless you decided to follow Zale to see what she was doing.
I wouldn't put it past Ash to do that, honestly.
No, I'd be with her because I'm like, oh, I don't want her to get lost, so we can go find the shop.
You approach the halfling woman. She gives you a respectful nod, but doesn't really smile to you. Do you ever find those flowers you were looking for?
Well, I'm one flower richer now, I suppose.
Well, what can I do for you?
Well, I didn't have any luck yesterday finding what I was looking for. Am I going to have any better luck today?
But he's not here. I knew for a fact Reginald was supposed to be here today. I sent him a note that somebody was looking for supplies. His loss, I guess. Give me a moment. Let me see what I've got. You see her like jump up in the cart. She begins to dig around. She goes, huh? I've got one of the I guess school ones, first year alchemy supplies. I don't know. I picked it up somewhere.
May I take a look?
Go ahead. He hands it to you.
Examine it carefully. I mean, something's better than nothing, right?
All right. When you look into it, it's maybe got 3/4 of its materials left. It's definitely been used, but you've got 75% of the goods still in there.
Well, this may actually tide me over until I find a place where I can stock up. Is it for sale?
Oh, I ain't gonna do anything with it. Let it go for 10 gold.
Sure. I think I owe you full price at the very least. I'll hand over 10 gold. Yeah, I'm gonna go now.
Oh,
She just kind of awkwardly goes away.
If I see Reggie, I'll let him know that he missed you.
Right, I don't know if I'm gonna be back, so.
Oh, if you are.
Right. She just kind of gives the kid a nod and very quickly scurries away back towards the waiting companions.
I don't know what you did to the kid, but I'm proud of you. You made it up to it. Her. I don't know what the gender of the child is.
It's a her.
Okay. Made it up to her.
Yes, I had an encounter with that child yesterday. I was very short with them.
Did you have a temper?
Their mother hit me.
Oh. She
I
looks
suppose
feisty.
I deserved it.
She looks feisty. Well, I'm still proud of you.
Thank you, I suppose. I'm trying to blend into societies like this a bit better.
And you're doing a great job.
It's difficult.
Well, it'll take some time.
It's very difficult.
Just as long as you remember, don't sign your name in blood.
I still don't get that one,
That's
but
yeah, you'll get there.
we'll get there one day, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right,
Shall
let's
we?
go. We'll
Okay.
head to the shop.
So you head into rich mahogany, which the smell of the shop is as implies to the name as a very welcoming.
I was gonna make a joke.
Yes, I got it from Anchorman.
Oh.
Just
I don't know
like
that joke.
very fragrant wood like scent wafts out of the shop as you open the doors. And as you look in, you can see just bookshelves with rows and rows and rows of books. Off to one side of the room, you see a couple robes and staves leaned up neatly against a rack. In one of the small wall mountings, you can see small stacks of different various scrolls with different wax seals keeping them shut. And almost like a ghostly like music playing as you walk in, setting sort of again this very calming and welcoming ambiance.
Is there anyone around?
Well, this is creepy.
It's oddly comforting.
I'm just gonna
That
knock
says a
very
lot.
loudly on the wall nearby to get someone's attention.
Oh, 1 minute. Sorry, No, stay down. No, but we have guests. Do not act up. You hear like a cage shutting, and then a click, and person walks out, and very frustrated look on his face. It's a drow gentleman, very neatly dressed. He's got just long silver light gray robes on with a blue sash over his shoulder. Apologies for that. Training. New pets are always a hassle.
What pet?
Oh,
I'm going to do the drow secret handshake with him, by the way.
Wait, this is
Drow bros.
the drow
Oh,
secret
there's a drow
handshake,
secret handshake.
stabbing each other in the back.
I was gonna say, was that just a middle finger?
He goes, oh, I just acquired a brand new phase spider. Trying to teach it some manners.
Good luck.
That sounds cool.
But I don't think you've come here to hear about my spider. Is there anything I can do for you wonderful people today?
We were told by our friend Rose to come by and seek you out for some potential magic items.
Oh yes. Well, magic selection is back there. I normally deal in books and tomes, but every now and then somebody brings in the occasional ring or blade.
So I don't know about my friends. I am seeking something that is hopefully will give me maybe some immunity against some necrotic damage and abilities. If not, maybe even cold.
Immunity. You're looking for full on. You can dance in the necrotic rains of the underworld.
Yes.
Let me see. He's looking around. You know, I don't recall having anything of the sorts.
Poop. What about cold?
Same thing. I don't really have anything that has any immunity on it at the moment. As I said, my magical selection is a little low. I mainly deal in the books and the scrolls. If you're looking for spell books, I have those.
What kind of spell books?
As he points to the rows of books in the shop. Take your pick.
I have no idea what would be useful.
As you see that he's at least had the good sense to separate them by class.
I don't even know what I'm even capable of learning as far as levels and whatnot.
Whatever level you're able to cast up to.
Okay, let me see.
And as Ash goes perusing the books, he looks to the rest of you. Can I help any of you with anything? Been quiet business here for a while. Not many sailors looking for books. I may have made a mistake coming to the city.
These magical items that you have, do you make them yourself, or do you just deal in them?
Oh, no, I deal in them. I am not certified nor sanctioned to, or zoned, I should say, zoned to have a lab here.
So you wouldn't be able to, the word is enchant something?
Oh, no, I can enchant. I just can't make. Big difference. Enchanting.
Learn something new every day.
Enchanting, you know,
That's okay.
I may just destroy the item and burn my hands or something. Making, I can destroy the whole town.
I understand. Sort of. I am actually seeking something similar to what my friend just asked you about, though perhaps maybe not quite that strong. I'm going to pull out the silver chain that TUES gave me. Would you be able to enchant this with a resistance of some sort?
And unfortunately, no, resistances aren't. I'm more of the utility type. Less offensive, less defensive. More use.
I see.
Transmutation, polymorph, teleportation, you know, those sorts of things.
If I wanted to be a wyvern.
You going to finish that sentence?
I was hoping you would.
Like polymorph?
I mean, if you, I do have some potions of polymorph if you're looking for that.
Only potions?
Only potions.
Okay.
Oh, I did get something very curious though. Yes. He pulls out a coin.
No,
Oh,
no,
no.
no, no, no,
No.
no, move on. No,
No.
move on.
No.
Are you sure?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
I don't even want to hear how that story ends. Just move on. Nope.
Okay, as he just like slowly puts the coin back. I have never met anyone who's been afraid of coins before, but to each their own.
Let's just say we already know much about the particular coin that we just no coins. It's cool.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
You should take that to a temple and have it locked away.
Why? It is a very useful coin.
I've already walked away.
Okay,
They
now I
only
just
spread
have to know.
chaos.
What is it? I have to know now. What is it?
Oh, it has the luck spell enchanted on it. Very useful item.
What does it do?
It lets you control fate at least once a day, anyway.
Okay, maybe I'm considering that now.
For out of character, it's got the luck spell enchanted on it, which allows you to change a roll, and you re-roll a roll, and you take whatever one you want.
Oh, okay.
It's like the luck feat.
Yeah.
I would be interested in buying it if it would allow me to negate a flip of the Jin coin.
It can, because that's technically a dice roll.
No,
Oh.
negate.
Oh no, it can't let you negate it. No.
But it can change the outcome of the roll if you
Yep,
like.
it can change the outcome of the
So-
result.
I don't know if that's
No, I'm
gonna
going to go ahead and let that all rest on your head.
Uh-huh.
You're so lucky Tickles isn't there. She would go for that thing in a heartbeat.
How long does it take for you to enchant something?
All depends on the complexity of the enchant.
Because I have this sword that technically can do radiant damage, but only with particular people. And maybe if there's a way for you to enchant it so it's on like all the time.
That isn't an enchantment. That's a blessing. If it's radiance, you're gonna have to take it to somebody of a holy persuasion.
Calderos, how long did it take? Oh fuck! If I knew about this the other day, but no, I had to be AFK.
To be fair, if you're looking to enchant or modify the hunter's mantle or anything, you're gonna have to take it to one of the temples of the Brotherhood.
Oh, which is
Good luck
no.
with that.
And since the
Hey,
blade,
I could be like, do you know who my father is?
and since the blade is corrupted now, they may have an issue with that.
It's cool. It's only corrupted because it's different color and it serves an undead. It's cool. It's cool.
You're fucked.
Okay.
How many more things do you want that blade to do?
I just thought it'd be cool to have the damage on just all the time. I don't get to use the radiant damage that often. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, well, neither do I, so deal.
We're kind of going up against liches here, like in the near future. So I mean, they'll still
Yeah,
count.
and that's
because
who
we're
I would
undead, so
work
it still
against.
counts, but Can you? Okay, so you can't do like resistance enchantments. Only like
No, like
fire damage, cold damage, like stuff like that.
As I said, I do more of the utility enchantments.
Like what kind?
Like I said previously, teleportation, certain things like that. Things that you don't normally use in combat. More of like an everyday use. Or in a quality of life improvement, if you would.
So would I have to give you an item, and that item can be used to like teleport?
That could
Or is
be
it-
that I can do. Though,
Okay.
are you looking for a one-time thing or something that you can use multiple times?
Multiple times would probably be preferable.
Well, multiple times. I definitely can do that. It will take me a couple days though, because that is quite some power. What,
Okay.
is something the matter?
Nah, I just don't know when we're coming back here is all.
Oh, that's no problem. If you give me an item of yours, Lucky can find you. As he points over to a raven that's sitting in a gilded cage.
1,000 times yes. Okay. Yes. 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 Let's do teleportation.
Okay, I definitely can do teleportation. Going to need an item.
Let me go through my plethora of items there.
Give me a ring.
I'm Liberace right now with rings.
You also all have those silver chains that I made
Yep.
That's true.
that are ready to be enchanted but have nothing on them.
That's true. And how big are the chains, by the way?
They can be worn as a bracelet if you wrap it around multiple times, a necklace, whatever you need.
Okay, because I actually would think it's because I forgot how long it was, so I thought it'd be really cool to have it be like a bracelet.
Yeah, no, you can totally do it.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give him the chain.
Okay. So multiple teleportations a day. You sure you don't, or do you want it once a day?
Once a day is fine.
Once a day. Okay, so
Yeah, I just don't want it to be like a one and done kind of spell. Like I can use it multiple times, but once a day is fine.
once a day. Very well. On this chain, it's going to take me a couple days to do.
Okay.
It's going to cost you 8,000 gold.
Oh goodness.
It's quite a hefty spell.
I can't ask Molly because she's not here. much are my gems worth? I don't
Which
think you ever
one?
give me a cost. I have a handful of rubies, sapphires, and emeralds.
Did you get those from Molly, or where did you get those from?
That's a good question. I want to say from Molly because I don't remember looting them from anyone anywhere else.
If you got them from Molly, each one of those gems is worth 1,000 gold.
Okay, because I don't remember looting anything with gems. Okay, so let's see here. That's pretty much all my gems. Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that.
So he takes the gems and he smiles and sets them down. He takes your chain. He's like, it will take me 2 days to get this done. I have a lot of spare time. Like I said, not many people come into my shop, so I'm very thankful for the business. Once it is done, Lucky here will find you. He will deliver it to you without a problem.
And just out of curiosity, just because we're talking about luck, how much is that luck coin?
Oh, a luck coin. Well, this is expensive, to say the least.
Probably can't afford it.
I can give it away for 3.
Pretty sure that also adds 3 zeros at the end, not 2.
3,000.
Yeah, no, can't do it. Darn it. All right, no, the chain's fine. That's
Okay.
good.
He takes the coin and he puts it back into the display case.
Now, out of character for the teleportation, is it kind of like the teleportation spell where
Yep.
I need to know of a circle?
It's exactly like the teleportation spell.
Sweet.
You don't need to know of a circle. You need to know of the location that you are traveling to. You need to have been there previously.
Okay.
If you want to travel
perfect.
to a location that you've never been to, you can still attempt it, but there may be a mishap.
Okay, and is that, refresh my memory, is that up to, like, was it 8 people or 9 people or something like that?
It's 8 people, I believe.
8 people. Okay, sweet. So I can do the whole group if I wanted
Hooray!
to.
I
Okay.
don't have to worry about teleporting your asses anywhere anymore. Screw
Travel,
you,
bitch.
people.
Well, plus it'll be useful because I mean we have like teleportation circle at the keep, but I mean it'll have its uses as well. So yeah, no, that's awesome. Okay, cool. Give all my shinies, basically my entire bag of gems.
It looks to the rest of you. Can I help anyone else?
These books that you have, I don't suppose any of them would assist me in expanding my knowledge of rune magic.
Oh, rune magic. No, I have half a bookshelf that is dedicated to dwarven rune magic.
That looks like it would take a long time to read.
And if you were to sit down and read cover to cover, nonstop, yes. How versed are you in rune magic?
I know how to use a small handful of runes, 3 of them. I have employed their power more than once. I would like to expand that if possible.
That's I can do. And he walks over and this one. And he pulls out this it's almost like sandstone colored leather wrapped tome. Like, this may be of use to you. It's got, I believe, a couple more runes in it and their practicality. It may be of use to you.
How much are you asking for this book?
I can give it away for 300.
I think I can do that. I'm gonna walk over to the counter and kind of make my posture as large as I can, not to like intimidate the guy or anything, but more just to block the view of the counter from my companions that are in here.
No
And
trust.
I'm going to as sly as I can, tap on that coin with my claw, and I'm going to slide a pouch of 3,300 gold across the counter to him.
Okay. What coin were you tapping on?
The luck one.
Oh, he's like, he just very slyly like palms it and kind of just slips it underneath the cover of the book.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Hi. My doors are always open if you need more books.
They
Well,
all
from the
turn
sounds
around
of
and
it,
roll.
You're like hovering over my shoulders. Seems we'll be back in a few days.
So, in order for the coin to work, the person who wants to use the coin has to have the coin in their possession.
Yeah, I figured it was like basically a flip of the coin to activate it type of thing.
It's pretty much you hold the coin, and if you have the coin in your possession, you can use the coin's charge for that day.
Okay. I am going to grab the book, the coin inside, and go to the front door and hold it open for my companions.
Oh, on quick second thought, would you be able to enchant something with haste?
With haste. It definitely is a possibility.
What would that cost?
Well, it depends on how strong you would want the enchant. Is this
Something that you could use once a day at the least?
Okay, once a day. And what am I enchanting? You know, different things cost different amounts
I'll
of money.
point to my silver chain.
Ah, another one of the chains. Oh, ace, chain. Do it for 2,000.
2,000. I'll have to think about that.
Well, as I said, I'm always here.
Thank you very much.
You do a layaway program?
Oh, you mean like payments?
Yeah.
Yes, I do that.
No, sí, there you go, Galdras.
Just if you're late on a payment, then I have by all means the right to kill you.
Actually, you know what?
Okay. How much are these worth to you? And I'm gonna slide forward the bag of the blue coins from Kamaraska.
He opens it and takes some of the coins out. Ah, haven't seen these in quite some years. Unfortunately, Roskin coins aren't worth much anymore after the collapse of the kingdom.
Yes, I've heard of that.
They've fallen on some harder times this past year. They,
Yeah.
not doing too well.
I heard.
Yes.
Under my breath. Yes, unfortunate what happens to those who mess with others.
Yes, there are those who say that the city had it coming, and while some of the higher class were iffy in morals, I feel for the innocent souls who called it home. But the
That's
city is quite literally in ruin after their hovering land masses where their seats of power came crashing down.
That must have been a sight to see.
Mm-hmm. So, if they're not worth that much, how much are they worth now?
To me, not much. We found a collector. Maybe they'd give you something.
Is there a collector in town?
Not anybody who collects Ruined Kingdom currency.
Okay. One last question then. Do you sell health potions?
No, I do not. Unfortunately, again, I am not zoned for
You
apothecary.
bastard! You knew this was coming.
The merchant commission is very strict on what we can sell, depending on what amenities we offer. I'm not a potion maker. I'm not an apothecary, so I cannot sell
Potions,
those.
though.
What's that?
I thought you had potions, though.
Oh yes, but not health potions.
Ah, okay.
I have potions that have utility.
Oh, that's true. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Ash, it's fine. I made some last night.
No, well, first of all, cool, awesome. We also need to talk, but yeah, I can help with that now. Just so you know.
Kaldros is
thank
gonna shoulder up to Zale. You wouldn't happen to have 300 gold I might be able to borrow, would you?
Only if you promise to do me a favor.
Do me a solid.
I mean, I don't have a favor right now, but in the future, I might come up with something.
I mean, I'd like to think we're friends. So
I'd like to think so.
Favors were kind of in the implied anyways.
Well, when I say favor, it may end up being something that, I need to keep fairly quiet.
Fair enough.
Secret.
Okay. You can borrow it, and I'll hand over 300 gold.
Did you hear that? You can borrow it, which means you have to pay it back.
Bitch, do you know how much I spent on that heroism sash? Anyways, I'm going to go and take off the chain and give him the 2,000 gold and ask for the haste at least once a day.
All right. That will take me 4 days to enchant.
Would this be... Actually, clarification here. Would this be something that you would need to attune to?
For this, yes. This would require an attunement. This is not something that you can just pass around and be all willy-nilly. Oh, your teleportation chain too. That's going to be attuned as well.
Okay.
Because I have to be attuned to the sword
and the shield. Yep.
I didn't have to be attuned to the sword before.
Because because it necessarily did not have an enchant previously. Mm-hmm. It was just a masterwork item.
How many can you be attuned to?
3.
3, okay.
And I've got a cloak.
I actually don't know what all my items need to be, like, if they consider attunement. I know some of them are obvious. Some of them I'm like, do I?
Actually, yeah, I think I'm gonna pass on that.
Okay.
But I'll give the money back to Zale and be like, still stands.
I was just trying to make you nervous a little.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
I figured. It was worth a try, though.
The other thing that makes me nervous is that other coin.
I'll keep that in mind.
All right. I think we are good.
Darius, were you going to ask him for anything? Okay. So the rest of you, or everyone, walks out of the magic shop, and as you're walking back to the through the town center, going towards the stables, you all see Tickles kind of like standing on top of a wall, just randomly striking poses and everything, and people like looking at her strangely. A couple of people have like tossed like a couple of coins down at her feet as she's posing. Don't really get the gist of what she's doing. It's like almost as she's trying to call attention to herself, and it seems to be grabbing people's attention, but that's about it.
I'm gonna wait until she is on like mid movement in an unbalanced position, and I'm going to cast Hold Person on her.
Okay. That require any sort of save?
Yes.
Pretty sure it does.
Yes, it does. But I'm going to give it a shot anyways.
All right, so hold person.
I'm doing it at.
Yeah, you need to make a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom save? Okay. That's
what,
good.
What spell level are you doing it at?
The spell level doesn't matter. The saving throw is the same no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
It's
just you can affect additional targets.
Yeah, I just
right.
want to affect Tickles.
Okay, so Tickles, go ahead and make a wisdom save.
Okie dokie. 17 plus 8.
Damn it.
25. So you try to cast hold person. You see your like joints tick for a second, but it doesn't really work.
It's gonna be like shit.
I just noticed what he was trying to do.
Not necessarily. You're kind of like caught in the moment of like posing
Okay.
and trying to grab the attention of as many people as possible.
Wow. It's good.
Tickles, you've made 5 gold from posing.
Oh, hell yeah.
What a poser.
Uh,
Are you
I will,
ready
I
to
will
go,
now
Tickles?
take a bow to the crowd and then I guess I see
You
my
see your friends, yeah.
my friends and I'm like, oh, hi, what's up?
What were you? You know what? Never mind. Let's just go.
You can
I'm
still
confused,
ask.
but I'm not going to question it.
No one wants to ask.
Is this like a Sven thing or a you thing? I asked.
Well,
I ended up asking. Damn it.
Yeah, just maybe don't answer that. So when the guards come asking, we can deny everything.
That's true.
Yes, I will not do that. Look over there, a distraction.
What? All right, let's go catch up to the kids.
Okay. And sure enough, just like he said, Landon is there, brushing down a small horse. You can see that he's got the saddlebags all set up and everything. He gives you guys a smile as you arrive. Oh, I was honestly starting to think you guys weren't going to show up, but I'm happy you did. It'll be nice to have company on the way back. Do you have horses?
Have a rat.
No. Well, I have a steed in a sense.
I'm a bit big for a horse, but I can run very quickly, so it's okay.
To be fair, we did just get off a boat that was sinking
Yeah, I think only 3 of us
And was it-
actually have mounts.
He goes,
and was on
oh,
fire.
that's okay. How many people need horses?
1, 2, 3.
I just need
4?
10 minutes.
4 or 3?
Takes them a while. 4. Let's see. Molly, Tiras, Zale, Rose.
That's about it. Because
Because you've got your rat mount.
yeah,
and
rat.
You've got your wyvern mount, and I've got Sahara. So
Zale can probably go on foot because her default movement speed is 50 now.
Yeah.
So.
So you technically only need like 2 or 3.
probably 3. Yeah.
Right. So he's like, I got this. He walks over and he tugs on the shirt of the stable master, and you see him like slip a small slivered jewel to him, and he points over to the 3 of you. He nods and he walks into the stables, and about a minute later, him and a stable boy come out with 3 horses, all bridled and everything.
How did you manage that?
What do you mean? I paid him. I mean,
What?
you're being kind enough to travel with me, and you don't have horses. I don't know how much money you have. I don't want you to have to walk. It's going to slow me down. So
Fair. Now I feel like a douche. Okay. Well, thank you. We appreciate it.
all of you get saddled up. Sahara now in her new armor bridling. It's just this like she stands out. It's just this bright and blazoned silver armor across her body. Even like the outlines of her wings are kind of like tipped in silver. She's even got like a griffin helm on as well to protect her head region.
That's hot.
Rose looks at her and she goes, "Oh, look, it's a pretty shiny target."
Well, I mean, I do like to be the center of attention. In battle. In battle.
and
Well.
captaining.
In captaining. I just wanted the damn silk. But also the better betting, so, you know.
Alrighty.
Twofer.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Still have silk.
before everyone heads out, let's go ahead and take our second break for the night so we can get something to drink, and we'll come back for the final hour of the stream. So stick with us, guys. We will be back in about 5 minutes or so. And we are back. So, everyone gathers up on their respective mounts and begins to journey southward towards Landon and his grandmother's home. Bring the map screen up here. See where you're at. So as you begin to leave town, you finally see the open grasslands that lay out beyond the gates of Lurin. Very vibrant and lush fields, a couple patches of wheat here and there, very well-defined footpaths that you can see multiple people coming and going to the city. And Landon just very confidently takes lead and just begins to ride off with his horse, almost as if he's expecting you to follow him.
And we're off.
Yeah, I'll follow as close to his horse as I can without, getting in the way.
Okay. What is the I need the marching order.
Since we're heading into forest, I'm.
Oh no, there's no forest yet. It's an open grassland.
Yeah, but for how long?
You're not going to hit the forest until there.
Looks about maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days.
Look at no, because you're on mounts.
You're on horses.
Yeah, you'll make it like day and a half.
My bad.
Right, I mean, I'll stay in the middle then.
Okay.
I'll stay close to the front with the kid, since he's kind of leading the way. I just want to keep an eye out and protect him if he needs it.
Alrighty.
I'll be in the back, be in the eyes.
Is Ash going to be flying on Sahara?
We're not flying.
Okay,
we're
so
trotting.
you're trotting. All right.
Yeah.
Sahara's kind of a bit large at the moment. She's definitely had a growth spurt in the past year.
Yeah.
All right.
Is she now considered a large creature?
She's considered a large creature right now.
Okay.
Why I can carry another person on her now that's not Zale or Molly.
Or Tickles.
Okay. So hey Cal.
Yes.
Give me a percentile rolls for the first leg of your journey.
Go.
Uh, 74.
Pretty good. So first couple hours pass really without a hitch. Every now and then you see again merchants passing by, a couple what look to be farmers bringing in like carts of wheat. Nothing really out of the ordinary. And around that time, like as the afternoon begins to turn into about 4-5 o'clock, Landon takes you off of the path. He's like, we gotta start going this way to get to home. Is that okay with the rest of you?
That's fine.
Home?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Follow me. I need someone to give me percentiles for the next leg.
Oh, jeez.
I vote Rose does it.
Really? Really?
I got percentiles in my hand.
Really?
You got to break that streak one of these days, right?
Really?
All right, wait, I think Raven said that he had percentiles.
I've got a
in his
pair.
Okay. Sounds like he threw it off the table.
Doesn't count.
It's fine.
Add a pair.
If it goes off
87.
the table, it's an automatic
87.
1.
All right.
Like,
This day is completely uneventful. It seems that you are still within the proximity of civilization that a lot of the creatures that roam the area tend to stay away from. Almost if they recognize that this is like the humans area, or the people's area. Though you do see overhead every now and then the occasional drake or large eagle fly overhead, kind of striking you odd that they're just flying freely around here. But you do remember that Scarlet and a couple other people have told you that the Far Reach doesn't really operate like the rest of the world. It's more of a land where tales have originated from, like a lot of like the old tales of heroes of lore and, you know, the dragon slayers and the monster hunters seem to have originated from tales from the Far Reach. As you've been off the path now for a couple hours, Landon looks up. He's like, it's starting to get a little dark. It may be best if we set up camp. I mean, I'm not really a fan of the dark.
You're leading us, so if you say we should be stopping, then
when he says he's not a fan
do
of the
not
dark,
give the boy a heart attack.
Do not.
I swear to God, Rose.
Rose has a smile on her face and like she's thinking about a very pleasant memory.
Like episode 3.
That poor man.
Okay, well, he kind of leads you off to like a small, rather worn down road area, which has been cleared of grass and debris and everything. It looks like a lot of people coming and going have used this area as a campsite from time to time. And he gets off of his horse and he begins to take a couple small pieces of firewood out of a bag, and he walks over to like the stone pit and he begins to set up the fire.
Just start assembling the camp.
are we still in like kind of a grassland-ish area?
You are, but the area that's Landon is starting to set camp up at has been cleared.
While camp is being set up, I would like to go into the grassy areas and hunt us some dinner.
Okay, go ahead and give me a survival roll.
Got
I think this is the best survival roll I've ever rolled.
Boy,
19.
All right, go ahead and give me a D4.
4.
You're able to come back with 4 rather plump rabbits.
Well, by the time I get back, maybe 3 rather plump rabbits. I found dinner.
Oh,
I'll just
thank you, Zale.
Toss 3 of them over near the fire pit.
Start making some rabbit stew.
Yep. And like without almost missing a beat, Landon just pulls out a skinning knife and just gets to work on the rabbits.
Oh my, does boy know what he's doing? Okay.
You got some red on your face, Zale.
Oh, shit.
Now look at Zale. It's like,
You got still something right there.
He's like, oh, if you don't mind, I can take care of the cooking.
You've cooked before?
I cook all the time.
Insight check.
Okay.
Why am I having like a
I don't-
psycho?
Kid?
I'm seriously having a psycho moment where there is no grandma. He was grandma all along. He would never have to fly.
Hello there, Shuddy.
I mean, as a player, I do want an insight check, but
Do an
I'm not
insight
going
check.
to.
Do
No,
it.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Then do it.
17 plus
He seems sincere.
7, 24.
He seems sincere. Just like the way that he's skinning the rabbit and preparing it and everything. It honestly looks like the kid knows what he's doing.
There. No doubts, everyone.
What if the DC was 28?
He's like, but do you prefer roasted meat, or do you prefer maybe a stew or something?
Oh,
I feel like
stew
this-
sounds good.
I feel like the stew would help stretch it out more.
Stew, I can do that.
Fast forward to scene from Lord of
Can
the Rings, Rabbit Stew.
can you do me a favor, Ash? In the back saddlebag of my horse, there's a couple potatoes. Can you bring me those?
So of course, I will go grab them.
All right. So it's going to take about an hour for him to prepare everything. So while dinner is being prepped, is anybody doing anything? Or is there anything you want to do or on your end?
Zale, do you want to make some potions together? Like health potions. Everything else I will screw up.
Sure. I think we can make a couple of those in the hour that we've got.
Okay. Also, I'm so sorry. Do you need the mirror anymore?
Oh, yes, that's right. Never did give that back to you, did I?
Well, that's okay. I mean, you can borrow it any time.
No, it's yours. If I feel like I really need it again, I will ask for it.
Of course.
Give it back. Now, do you want to make these potions from scratch or distill ones that you already have, just like last time?
Well, see, here's the thing. I'm in the single digits now, so I feel like we need to make them from scratch.
Single digits, she means 9.
I know, right? Yeah.
I wish it's actually lower than that.
8.
Still lower than that.
Lead down to like 3 the
Okay.
way you've been chugging them.
Do you have the supplies to make them?
I do now. But that's all I can make is the only thing.
Okay, do you have a full kit? A full alchemy kit?
But I haven't touched it since I've left home, so yes.
I'm just asking because it seems to be very difficult to get basic ingredients in this part of the world.
Oh, I'm sorry. We can go find some in the...
No, we can use
Grassland?
what you have.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't really want to use my good stuff for
That's
just health
fair.
potions.
That's fair. Okay.
I mean, do you want to take the lead then on this? I'll assist.
Sure. So do I roll with advantage or do I just make them?
Who's trying to make them here?
Me.
And I'm assisting her.
Then you have advantage. And you're making health potions, right?
Yes.
Just basic run-of-the-mill health potions.
Already starting off really great. That's a nat 20.
Okay. So I'll say for the hour that you do this, you're able to make 3 health potions. 3 basic health potions.
3 basic.
In the double digits.
And as like you cork the final health potion, is anyone else doing anything, or are you just waiting for food?
I will be
There.
I will spend time with my sword, attuning to it
Okay.
further, and just trying to go through forms with the various weapon styles.
Just going through the motions, just getting used to it.
Yeah.
All right. So as you're doing that, you realize that changing the weapon is a bonus action. So
Okay,
changing the weapon
cool.
shape is a bonus action.
That's really awesome. All right. So I'll spend like 30-45 minutes on maybe 50 minutes, and then
It takes about an hour to attune.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I'll do the rest after dinner then.
Okay. Tickles, Rose, Tyrus, you guys do anything?
Tyrus is going to work on attuning to his weapon.
Okay.
As well as if Tickles is available with a ready stockpile of gems, we're going to play magical gems to figure out what they do.
Yes, I do. But I'll also be while I give him, the spare gems that I have, because I'm actually going to give him all the dupes that I have for him. I'm going to be making my Eldritch Cannon.
You're making your Eldritch Cannon?
Yeah, I can make a cannon. I'm level 3 artificer now.
Oh, you took artillerist.
Yes.
All right, give me a second here because I gotta see what that does.
Does this shock anyone?
It does not.
Not at all.
even
The
in
second,
slight-
in
shocks,
fact, the
raise your
second
hand.
the second Tickle said it, I was like, yeah, no, that's legit. Yeah.
The question is, which of the cannons will it be?
Let's see
Yes.
here. Artillerist.
We'll be surprised, I'm sure.
All right, so your Eldritch Cannon can either be a flamethrower, a force ballista, or a protector.
Flamethrower.
I'm going to do the Force Ballista.
The force ballista. All right, so on the 3rd level, you learn how to create a magical cannon. Using the woodcarver's tools or smith's tools, you can take an action to magically create a small or tiny Eldritch Cannon in an unoccupied space on a horizontal surface within 5 feet of you. A small Eldritch Cannon occupies its space and a tiny one can be held in one hand. Once you create a cannon, you cannot do this until you finish a long rest or until you expend a spell slot, 1st level or higher. You can have only one cannon at a time and cannot create one while your other cannon is present. The cannon is a magical object, regardless of size. The cannon has an AC of 18 and a number of hit points equal to 5 times your artificer level. It is immune to poison damage, psychic damage, and all conditions. If it's forced to make an ability check or a saving throw, treat all its ability scores as 10, so +0. If the mending spell is cast on it, it regains 2d6 HP. It disappears if it's reduced to 0 hit points or after 1 hour. You can dismiss this as an early action. When you create a cannon, you determine its appearance, whether it has legs or not. You also decide its type. So this isn't something that stays with you. It's pretty much, it's like a summon.
Oh, is it a summon?
Yeah, you channel the magic through your tools, and you technically just summon it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
anytime-
In that case,
Sounds
I'm
like
just
it
gonna be
only
like, look
lasts
what I
an
can
hour.
do. Poof.
And you make a force ballista.
Yes.
Okay, so what does it look like?
Like, you played Magic. You ever seen those thyrocopters type of deal, or rather, like ones with legs?
So just a leg ballista.
Just a leg ballista.
All right. So Tickles is like, look what I can do, and she kind of like clings like her tools together, and a soft like glow of eldritch light appears in front, 5 feet in front of her, and this small mechanical ballista with these 6 spider-like legs appears in front of her. There's no bolts to be seen, but like a spectral energy in the knock of the ballista itself.
That's a neat trick.
I know. I shall name it Steve Jr.
All right, Steve Jr. the Force Ballista.
Maybe a little bit of an odd question, but does it have a scent?
It does. It has an almost ozone-like scent, kind of like when there's too much electricity in the air.
Mm-hmm.
It gives off a very strong ozone scent.
Is it similar to the scent that the Gearforged from Arcastus?
Yeah, it's definitely reminiscent of like a very Gearforged-like scent.
There's some definite nose curling action from Zale.
Rose reaches into her bag of holding and pulls out a silver clockwork owl, and she taps it on the beak, and it like comes to life and whirls and gurs, and she casts invisibility on it, and she sends it up into the air.
And everyone hears a mechanical flutter of wings as her owl, as your invisible owl goes up into the sky.
Oh, I'm just thinking of Clash of the Titans, the classic.
Yep. And
Okay.
I'm just telling it to scout for the next hour.
Alrighty. And it's beginning to like fly around a small perimeter of you and the campsite. And as everybody's finishing up their little hour-long activities, Landon brings each of you a very hearty bowl of rabbit stew.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. I'm famished.
Yeah, I'm kind of hungry too. I only had the oatmeal and then a sandwich, and then a couple apples and some jerky on the road.
That actually sounds like a lot.
Not
But you're
really.
young. You're growing up. Cool.
A growing boy needs a growing stew.
I don't think that's
If
I
the
don't think that's
stew
how it
is
goes.
growing, I think it's gone bad.
I hope it's not growing. It's just stew. He just like sits down. He just starts eating his own stew. Kind of, he's like leaning up against one of the logs that have been left in the campsite, sort of like a chair.
So you're familiar with this area. Are we going to have to be taking night watches?
It's always smart. I mean, if it's not the monsters or the creatures, you may run into some bandits. We're still within like a safety zone, I guess. I mean, we may be safe.
Probably best not to chance it.
Well, and a lot of things are trying to pursue us, so.
Yes, that as well. Ash and I will take first watch.
Okay.
Tears is muted. Tears will take a second watch.
All right.
Every stream.
I'll help with that one.
The problem is I
Okay.
have 3 push to talk keys.
Oh.
That'll do it.
Yep.
Is anyone taking a third?
I'll do it.
Okay. Rose, you gonna take a fourth, or are you just gonna chance it?
Rose sneaks in like other people's watches because she doesn't need a full 8 hours of sleep. So she'll do her 4 and then she'll just rest.
Okay. All right. So first watch happens. So we're gonna do something a little bit new here. So while you are on your watch, you're gonna give me skill checks for said watch. You choose which
Okay.
skill you want to. You choose which skill you want in order to keep an eye on the camp and make sure nothing jumps on you.
Okay.
And then you roll, make the DC, you're all good. If not, something's gonna happen.
Okay. Since it's me and Zale, do we kind of combine them or do we do separate ones?
One of you will do the roll. If the other wants to assist, they can most certainly do that.
Okay.
But I just need to know which skill you are going to be using.
Unless Zale wants to do something, I was thinking a little outside the box and do animal handling and kind of survey with Sahara. Just kind of keep an eye out.
Okay. So go ahead and give me an animal handling check, and if Zale wants to assist, you can have advantage on that.
I don't really see any way that Zale would be able to assist with an animal handling, especially if you're flying around the area on Sahara.
Either that or I'm sending her off on her own and kind
Okay.
of looking out.
So,
Okay.
plus Zale's only up because she wants to give Ash something. She wasn't actually going to take watch.
Oh,
All right.
I see how it is. Animal handling's pretty good. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. 22.
Okay. So you have Sahara kind of patrol the area, and every now and then she like swoops down into the grass and comes back up, definitely making a lot of ruckus to scare anything that may be around the area away.
She's like toothless.
But
Adorable.
whatever she does, her little rambunctious actions make sure that the first watch goes without an issue.
All right. Good girl.
She's smart.
And Zale, you said that you wanted to give Ash something.
Yeah, so when our watch is kind of coming to an end, Zale just like stands up and stretches. I'm gonna go sleep.
Okay. I'll wake up, Tiras.
Sure. Here, by the way, I saw you looking at this. She flicks a coin over at Ash, and then she just kind of wanders off and goes to lay down somewhere.
I first of all have a minor panic attack.
Fair.
And immediately
We all
observe
would.
the coin, make sure I don't see any special symbols
Nope.
that I very much recognize.
Nope, this coin is just a soft gold coin with the symbol of a triple sun on it, but it's the same coin that the gentleman in Rich Mahogany showed you and said was a luck coin.
And before she goes into her tent, I like bum rush and just go straight up and like tackle hug Zale from behind.
All right,
Thank you, Zale.
second watch. That Tiras and Calderos, or
Yeah,
Tears.
me.
all right. So same thing. Go ahead and decide what skill that you want to use for your watch for the night.
No, I'm sorry. Can we choose to do individual contributions, or is it combined?
It's one of you. It's one check.
All right. What did you have in mind?
I was just gonna run off perception because it's one of the few things I can function with.
Okay. Mine wouldn't have been too far off from what happened last watch, anyways.
Yours is going to be better. Probably.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, this could be rich. Okay.
Well, my idea was kind of an intimidation, as weird as that sounds, with the wyvern mount.
Are you going to scream at nature?
No, I'm not going to scream at nature. I'm not going to scream at nature, but just like, be present and look foreboding, I guess.
Okay, so you can. It's up to you guys. Which one you want to go off of?
Oh, let's. Yeah, sure. I've got a 6 perception.
Yeah, yours is a hell of a lot better than Caldross's.
Oh dear.
Mr. 9.
His perception, we'll go with it. But his perception may be better than my perception, but my intimidate is way better than that. So
The DC for the intimidate is probably a lot higher than the perception.
Yeah,
that is
that's an
also probably true.
That is usually opposed, and it doesn't end well.
As he
Because
just-
anything that makes it is angry.
what the fuck did he just say? Dragon appears out of the brush. You
It's
want
like
to
you
say
said,
that
what
again?
about what now?
Can you be my friend?
All right, Tiras.
Nat 20.
All righty.
Yes.
Nice.
Give me a second here.
Ooh, you beat me by 1 for intimidation, Caldross. By 1.
You see a raccoon.
Actually, Tiras,
Yes.
as you're sitting there and you're like, you're just focused, just like eagle-like precision focus. You're sitting on the log and you're looking around, and out comes a raccoon
Oh boy.
with a small wooden shield strapped to his back.
Oh,
Go to hell,
no.
raccoon. Go to
No.
hell.
Raccoon.
Don't want your kind around here.
He kind of like walks up to you and he sits down.
No, no.
Slings the shield off of his back, and he hands it up to you.
Ugh.
And as he does, you can see the name TUES like painted on the shield.
I just take the shield out, cry slightly, take the shield, cry slightly, and resign myself to the horrible fate that is.
And he smiles and he pats your knee and he runs off.
You freaking trash mammal.
Officially a trash mammal now.
Oh, it's a trash panda.
I'll walk up and I'll see the shield. That won't do you much good.
I pull out the little wooden sword and set it on top of the shield.
Okay.
Oh,
They merge into one.
So as you do that, everyone begins to hear childlike voices fill the area.
Nope, I'm out.
Oh,
Nope.
no.
I
not
didn't do
again.
it.
No.
Not
This shit,
not
right here.
not ghostly, by the way, but
Oh.
it's just as if like children are around you playing.
That's
And
still the setup to a horror movie.
from what it sounds like, it's just like all these kids, like you can hear the clashing of wood against wood as it sounds like a bunch of boys playing soldiers.
I peek outside the tent.
And as you peek out, you begin to see these little white wisps beginning to raise up out of the ground, and they form into these
fine sense.
4 young boys. All of them, like, and they're moving and they're having fun and everything. And you spot this maybe 6-year-old boy, a little bit taller than the rest of them, running along with that same shield with the name TUES across it.
TUES, are we in your dreams?
Are you awake?
I think
I thought so.
everybody's awake.
I don't.
Nope, I'm going back to bed.
Tickles is like, nope, not dealing with
Mama,
this.
Mama instincts woke up and was like, "There's children."
Divine
Yeah.
sense.
There is nothing. There's nothing you can
Okay.
sense.
I kind of look at Ash with this pleading look of, oh, help.
What is going on, TUES?
And then after a minute or so, the wisps fade away and there's silence around the camp.
That's new. In your
So
hand?
if you had any questions about what I've been dealing with, that.
Except now we see them.
Well, that's because a small furry creature happened to drop off the shield and I hold up the shield.
Are you a princess? Because that's only ever happens to princesses.
No, it was a raccoon.
I mean, it still counts.
Hmm.
But, so now you have a matching set. I imagine if you try to toss away the shield, it will just back at you.
Well, that's what happens when you put them together.
Did you have a set
Oh.
of full plate wooden armor? Any other items that we might be looking forward to?
It's a very good question.
I mean,
Child TUES just seemed to be wearing basic clothing. All he has is that wooden sword and shield.
Okay.
did you recognize this?
Nope.
Because I think
Better
that was
count.
you.
Well, there's a fire right there. I'm just saying.
Oh, what if it screams? That's gonna be loud.
I'm not awake.
This
Don't
doesn't seem
cause
like
chaos.
a good idea at all.
I feel like something screaming in the middle of the night is probably not going to go well for us.
Yeah. Yeah, this just makes me even more glad that we're doing this, TUES, so we can figure out what's going on, because that looked like you. Or, well, I mean, no offense, it's hard to tell because you have a, the whole, but I mean, I assume it was you.
Very eloquent.
Said the Dampier to the Snake Man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that...
fangs and
But I mean, that same shield with your name on it was there, so I am assuming that is you through weird childhood projecting memory via ghost?
I don't think this is going to get better the closer we get.
I imagine it's going to get worse. Well, I want to say for you, but I feel like it's starting to affect reality. As far as now we see it.
Well, as long as I wasn't the only one hallucinating, it's okay.
Well, we've all been there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think from now on going forward, just as a precaution, someone should always be with you on watch. Just as a precaution.
Well,
I point over to Caldros.
No, I know that. No, I know. And Connor's did a great job. I'm just saying going forward, not by yourself is what I mean.
I mean, I'm so used to these little furry creatures walking up and handing us really awesome items. So
Since whatever that was has woken me up, do you mind if I actually take a look at one of those items of yours, Tyrus,
They
for
hold out both in front of me. Take your pick.
approximately 10 minutes? I will grab the sword. I suppose it doesn't really matter too much which.
As long as it doesn't start screaming at you.
No promises.
Do
I
you
will
only
sit-
grab the sword?
Yes, because what I'm about to do, I can only do on a single item at a time.
Okay.
So I'm going to grab the sword and sit down next to Tyrus and kindly ask him not to walk more than 10 feet away from me. And I'm going to place my hands on this object. And as I do, Sail's eyes kind of start to get taken over by that red inkiness again, like they do when she transforms. And they start to kind of leak red, and then her nose starts to bleed a little bit, and it's like dripping down near the item, but not onto the item. It's like kind of almost forming a bubble around it as she uses grim psychometry on the item.
When you reach 9th level, you can take 10 minutes to meditate on an object to discern details regarding any lingering evil or wicked past surrounding it. Make a wisdom ability check. Based on the result, the DM may reveal obscure information about the dark events that may have previously surrounded the object. All right, so go ahead and give me a wisdom
That's
check.
cool.
Oh, Zale could not be in a better position for this.
Ooh, that is it. What is my modifier? +2. Okay, so that's a dirty 20.
Very good. So, Zale, I'm going to send you something after the stream, because
Okay.
I can't whisper it in your ear. Actually, I can, if everyone takes their headset off.
I was gonna say you can put them in the Discord.
Make wild gestures when you're done.
you'll
Yep.
have to wave or something.
Let me know,
when
because
it's
I'm
time
actually
to...
on mute chat here.
So, when Zale does her grim psychometry, images begin to flash through your mind of Tyrus's childhood. And then it's very brief happiness, and then him being taken in the night as explosions begin to happen, as rock and fire begin to descend from the sky upon Malorsic. And he's stuffed in a bag by this creature with very patchwork like skin. And then you hear the whisperings of a couple voices, and one of them saying, "The deal has been concluded. Your payment is in the bag. Do with him as you must. But make sure he suffers for what his people did." And the next thing that you see through Calros's vision is him being thrown into one of those large Kami Roskin-like tubes as this very thick black vial liquid begins to fill up in the tubes, and screams of panic and fear begin to echo around you before you snap back into reality.
Okay. That's a lot to unpack.
Hey.
That
Is Zale dead?
I was like tapping my headphones, like my headset, hoping you guys would see it.
Oh, sorry.
And Zale kind of snaps back to the pool of blood, kind of like coagulating around the wooden sword.
Zale, are you okay?
I'm fine. TUES, here's your thing back.
What did you see?
TUES.
That was a lot of blood.
Yeah, don't worry about that part.
Do I shoot it?
Do you want me to lick it off your face?
Wait, what?
Whoa.
Where's blood? What?
I mean, why are we gonna waste it? I'm just saying.
No, that's okay. I can clean myself. TUES, how do I put this? When do you stop remembering? How far back does your memory go?
The intact part? Somewhere around when I woke up in the Void Dragon prison.
So nothing sooner than that. Nothing about your
Nothing
family,
whole,
where you come
no.
from. Well, the thing that I just did, it gave me a bit of a glimpse into what I believe was your past. And if I'm understanding it correctly, you were part of a deal. You were a payment. Some creature of some sort did something for someone, and in return, you were handed over and I guess experimented on, and whatever this creature is, wanted to make sure that you suffered greatly for what your people did.
What did your people do?
It's a very good question.
I didn't get a clear picture of what happened, but there was a lot of destruction. And this town we're going to, I'm sure we've all put this together, at least at this point. I believe you're from there, and this catastrophe is linked to you or your family or people you're connected to. Is possibly a direct result of something they did.
Was it a demon?
The creature was, I don't believe, one I've ever seen before, but they had kind of patchwork skin, I guess is the best way to describe it.
Like similar patchwork to a hag's tome? Perhaps?
I suppose that could be the case.
Hmm. How do you feel, Tyrus?
More intrigued now than before. Now I need to know.
We'll get you there. I'm gonna give him a hug.
So the remainder of the watches pass without issue.
I still had a watch
I know that I'm just fast forwarding it because we're getting near the end.
key.
I really don't want to end on somebody rolling a 1.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But the night passes without incident. In the morning, you wake up and begin to saddle your horses up and begin to make your way down the path. And as you are riding, almost as if it's a voice on the wind, Tyrus, you just hear somebody just like whispering into your ear. Welcome home. I've been waiting forever for you to return. My wonderful little creation.
Do we all hear that?
Nope, only Tyrus. And with that, we are going to end for the week.
I am so glad you said that because I actually rolled a 1.
Oh God.
Yeah, I didn't want to end on a 1 because I was like, oh, it's combat the next time we come around, and then everyone's
well, it's also
freaking
combat, and it's also a boosted combat too.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot our next
We're
one was
still
gonna be
sitting on a
boosted.
Yeah.
boosted combat.
out. You are sitting on a boosted combat.
We need to find like a really angry boar and just get a
So I'm good
boosted
at buddy.
boar.
Go kick a squirrel.
That squirrel now grows to be 40 feet tall and has arms made of guns.
That's boosted.
I approve.
I'm glad we
Steve
geared
Moore.
up because
So, yep, so that is going to do it for us this week. We will be back next Tuesday, starting at 7:30 Pacific time for more D&D shenanigans with these wonderful people. Getting ever closer to Landon's house to meet dear old grandma.
Grandmama, which I swear doesn't exist. It's definitely a psycho moment where he is his grandma.
I think she's real. I just think she's one of the hags. She might be a nice one.
She will.
Or she could
If
be
we
the
ever had a
instigator of this
nice
entire
hag.
thing.
Hey, I met a nice hag. She gave me stuff.
That is true. Not all hags are truly evil. Just a majority of them are.
Are you talking about what's her face? McNevin?
No, the old woman that ran the magic shop that I went into that gave me
Yeah,
the nose ring that gave
in
me my
Glimmer-
sight back.
In Glimmer Cross, yeah, she was one of the good ones.
Way back when. Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
Which would also kind of explain why I've never been able to get in touch with her again, because her magic to stop like any sort of divination is probably super strong.
Yeah. I mean, she gave you something so like people can't spy on you, you know, she's probably got that on, you know, her being as well as her shop and her home and everything.
Yep.
Maybe you can scry on her with the mirror.
I feel like I don't want to take that chance.
Having flashbacks to control critical role. Oh, hello there. Oh God.
Why did it do that?
That's a good
Oh.
question. That's weird.
There we go. Oh, because I put cast space 2.
Oh.
So that's, like I said, that's going to do it for us tonight. Next week, we start the certain Mass Effect campaign.
I'm so nervous, but so excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. But that is going to be on our Monday show, starting at 7:30 Pacific time. Zorro is going to be the one to head off this in space insanity as our DM. And Shadow Fox, HB Fox, Ravenslar, Gilly Tam, and myself are going to cause some space damage. As probably the most dysfunctional group in space that there is, because everybody just pretty much hates everyone else. Or the Krogan dislikes everyone.
I have nothing against any of you inherently.
You're playing a Drell, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
okay, Drell are awesome. Everybody loves Drell.
Yeah.
Just, you know, Krogans hate the Turians, Turians hate the Krogans, Krogans hate the Solarians. Solarians are kind of neutral to the world.
Kind of neutral, yeah.
You don't have enough time to care about that kind of thing.
Solarians are just like high on Adderall, inventing the next
I've got
genophage.
50 years. I got 50 years of my lifespan. I don't have time for this shit.
Like, I don't have time for you to have a petty grudge. I'm busy.
You guys are gonna have to change the Behold roleplay cast because it's still got blood on the gray down there.
Does it?
Yep.
Oh, and the panels?
I'll change that.
The panels.
Oh yeah, we got to change that. We got to change that. But yep. So Mass Effect starts next week on Monday, and then we're back here on Tuesday with more Destiny Forged. And sometime in the future, we will be having even more shows coming up on the roster. So look forward to that. But for now, guys, we are going to head out. Get ourselves some rest so we can wake up, because some of us have work in the morning. And we will see you guys next week for Mass Effect.
Just a quick side note, since I am out of town, this VOD will be up later this week, most likely this weekend, so it'll just be a little late. Just a heads up.
Alrighty. Oh, also, dice people who won the dice. Like I said yesterday, but I'm saying again, if you missed it, your dice are being shipped out this week. So you guys should have it next week, week after, depending on however slow UPS decides they want to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
But until
Not
then,
as
guys,
slow as USPS.
this is true. But until then, guys, have a great one. We will catch you guys next week.